kids in my neighborhood, and then I worked for Fangoria, and then I worked for this other entity run by jackasses who I don't want to mention because every time I do, they appear like Candyman and fuck them. and and then I started Dread Central, which I served as editor-in-chief and founder for about 17 to 18 years before I struck out on my own and I started producing and writing. And I'm responsible for bringing the world the Terrifier franchise. I've helped out in a million other ways. I've helped out on the Paranormal Activity franchise. I've helped out on the Hatchet franchise. I've been instrumental in and I don't say this, to egotistically. It's just I know I've been instrumental in launching a lot of the careers of some of the biggest filmmakers out there right now, and it's been my pleasure to be able to do that and to talk to people like you guys and everyone watching at home.
So, just so we're clear here, when I post things about people that are going to be at our events or whatever, I'm a carnival barker. I mean, my background is marketing, advertising, brand development, creative design, everything else. So this is just an FYI. If I ever say you're the magic behind something or you're the man behind something, I understand that, other egos might be upset by that. You just always deflect to me. You just be like, it was him. He did it. He did it. And even when I didn't do it, just go ahead and say he did it.
Okay.
All right. Just going forward like that. Right. So
I've acted as the shield for a lot of people. I'll happily take one for myself.
That's not a problem. So, when I say that's the man, that's the man. So we're going to jump into another guest that we have coming on. This guy, I met him through the event that we're doing. Actually a bunch of events that we're doing down in Atlantic City. He was a contact through one of our partners, and this guy has basically single-handedly built his own persona. He's building his own empire. He is the urban legend. He's an urban legend. I would argue he's a myth, and I would definitely say that he is most likely a cryptid. I mean, if we're going to be real here, I think he's a fucking cryptid. Welcome, Father Evil.
Ooh. Oh God, how I love him.
How you guys doing?
Awesome. Can I just say one thing before we jump into Father Evil Land? He was doing his thing, man, when I was still living in New York and New Jersey, and I was away for 20 years, and a lot of things change over the course of the decades. But Father Evil is like one of the constants. And when I finally moved back to the East Coast and I saw him again, I had two thoughts. One, wow, he hasn't fucking aged a day. And two, how much respect could I possibly muster for this guy who's been out there doing what he does for so long, creating this persona, creating memories for people to share in. I have so much respect for what Father Evil does, and it's an honor to share any event with him. And
thank you, man.
Shut up now. And here's my address. I'll put it in the chat.
Thank you. So thanks for the intro. I like that, cryptid.
Yeah, well, I mean, the way I see it is, again, I know you're around the horror genre predominantly, paranormal predominantly. We could see you at a lot of those events. We could find you in Asbury Park. But, I mean, realistically, when we're talking about pop culture, and, it's not just about what's happening across the country, right? Because let's be real here. When Father Evil decides that he's going to pass the torch to the next Father Evil, that's pop culture, right? That's like Elvira passing the torch, and that's what we're going to see here, because you built up a following, a fan following. You literally built up your legend, and so you're a recognizable figure. I mean, it's only a matter of time before The Simpsons has you on there predicting something about you.
Imagine that. No, I'm looking forward more towards the South Park Oh, I would love South Park to do something like that. Oh my God, that would be epic. If for South Park to roast you, you know you made it.
Yeah, right. I mean, at this point, yeah, yeah. Like, how can you be mad? Like, if South Park, and again, another
Dude, that's
how
like
long's
the
that?
greatest honor ever.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
And I
like
mean,
weird. That's like Weird Al writing a song about you. Oh fuck yeah!
yeah, right. Absolutely, absolutely. So you are. We'll see you at our events this
Yes,
year. As a matter of fact, you are our master of ceremonies for Halfway to Halloween in May.
yes, I am.
Yes, I am. In the
Yes, I am
meantime,
looking. I am looking forward to that. I am looking forward to. I love the people in Atlantic City. I consider it an audience. When you're out there doing this, you're performing, especially with what we do. So that audience I love because a good majority of them have never seen something like Father Evil like that, like in their face, and that's when I thrive the most. That's what I thrive off the most is like that raw interaction, especially when they've never seen me film. You can just see it in their face, in their eyes, and I just go all in like when a shark sees blood. That's how I go. Especially
yeah.
when they give me like that look, like oh, it's over, it's over, it's a wrap. I'm gonna get in your head.
That's awesome.
You
That's
know,
awesome.
I have a Father Evil T-shirt, right? And on the back it says, "I can smell your sin." And I can't tell you, and I take this as a compliment. People are like, "Is that you on their shirt?" And I'm like, "No, it's a completely different person, but I wish it was me. If I looked at man,
Thank you.
come on."
No,
Yeah, man.
it's awesome to have you here, and it's awesome that
Thank you.
got a collective group here of amazing hustlers. I mean, all you are you're hustlers. I mean, you're out there doing what you love, and you're trying to continue to elevate your passions, right? And I think that's in part where a lot of what happens is pop culture comes from, right? It's people's are that driving passion. All right, I really want to turn off this fucking QR code, but it won't stop. Hide, 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 hide.
Leave it. Sell your
You
book, damn it.
bastard.
Well, you had it. Oh wait, all those different QR codes.
Usually I could keep. I don't know. It's just not agreeing with me today for some reason. That's all right. But speaking of making pop culture, I see her waiting in the green room. She's got a camera off. She's got her mic off. I don't know if she's listening. I don't want to like intro her when we got black screen. Up there goes the microphone. So let me tell you something. Podcaster extraordinaire, performer, supporter. Her energy is off the hook. I've watched the podcast. I've listened to the clips. And I want to bring on Chris Valkyrie. Chris, are you here to join us?
I am here. I'm just finishing up makeup. That's why the camera's off.
All right. Do I need to put you off to the side a little bit so you could do the makeup and we're not harassing you?
Makeup at the same time.
Oh, great. Multitasker. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So,
I woke up like the Undertaker because I took a little nappy nap before. I'm great. How are you? It's a privilege. It's nice to finally meet Father Evil.
Thank you.
As a person that embraces my darkness.
Yes, that's yeah. It's something you got to experience.
Yes, and it's like an honor to be on the show. Like that's why I got to make sure my makeup's perfect.
Oh, thank you.
But
so tell us a little bit about you and how you're influencing the pop culture landscape.
Oh my God. I am a multitasker. I vary from my corporate job where I work in the legal field as a 9 to 5, because I have to support my habits. to a cosplayer, podcaster, pageant queen, um, and a mom that just loves growing up, that grew up in the 90s. Like, I saw history happen, and I'm thankful for my brother, because without him, I wouldn't have the obsession that I have with comics and Marvels and superheroes. He wasn't a horror person, but I was a big horror fan. I was that kid that could sit in the darkness and just sit there and watch The Exorcism and not flinch. Like, we'll watch like The Conjuring or something. My husband will be like freaking out because he hates Annabelle. I'm like, are you serious?
It's a safe rush. So horror is a safe rush.
But then he'll be like, but you won't watch a zombie movie. I was like, yeah, I won't, because they're real.
It's funny you say that, because that's the whole thing with me and clowns. Like, I
I
just,
don't like clowns.
I can't stand clowns.
I only like one clown, Joker and Harley. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So, I'm going to jump up and I'm going to start with you, Don. What do you think was a quintessential pop culture moment that shifted the dynamic of the American landscape in your lifetime?
So,
Told you there was going to be a pop quiz.
Yep. So anyone who knows me knows outside of like the nerdy fandoms of pop culture, I was born into the hip hop culture, which is part of the pop culture, and I think it was one of the most impactful moments in our culture. It divided a lot of bridges within our different communities. And you can't turn the TV on now without seeing something from hip hop culture integrated into pop culture. And at some point, they kind of became one and the same. And being a part of that has been so amazing to see people like Daryl from Run DMC get into his first love, which was comics. Right, rap wasn't his first love. Hip hop wasn't his first love. It's one of his loves, but it was comics, and then cookies, and then rapping, and seeing a lot of our pioneers embrace all of pop culture. Right, they're going back to Daryl. They're working on an anime comic where Keith Shockley is going to be working on the music, and he's the DJ for Public Enemy and Bomb Squad. And so, getting to know about these things from behind the scenes, because I work with some of them, and seeing like you're embracing your inner nerds. And I love this because it does take adults like ourselves that embrace it and normalize it and show people that, hey, you can embrace your fandoms. You can be a part of those fandoms. You can, make that part of your life and part of your livelihood. Back when we were younger, we were told, don't even worry about that stuff. It's entertainment, but you can't make a living off of it. And everyone up here is proof that you can, as long as you have the drive for it and a support system that will help you with that drive. So I definitely want to shout out hip hop for helping me embrace a lot of the different types of pop culture. And then in second place, I'd say video games. And a lot of it was, intermingling, because, Fight Club for Def Jam, was one of my favorite games back in the day. And you could take all your favorite rappers and have them fight against each other.
New York, baby.
Right, exactly. And that was kind of one of those, bringing all of it together, the video games, the pop culture, the hip hop. And, young me could just sit there for hours and just lose my mind in it, because those are real people. These are people that we know and grew up on, and now I can control them as a video game. But even that within the community, as soon as, live streaming and multiplayer games came to be, it helped create a different community online where people feel included, where some people are, myself included, are, I'm stay to myself. When I have to turn on and be my character, I can. but I'd much rather just be chill, play some video games. And a lot of our crew, that's what we do. We decompress by playing video games. Chris can talk. We've spent hours, just shooting the shit in the video game, not really caring if we win or lose, right? But
Yeah,
still wanting to win.
that's why I had to take a nap. I woke up at like 3 o'clock in the morning for some odd reason. I went to bed early yesterday, 9 o'clock. It was a miracle. And I woke up literally like I sent him a message like the Undertaker, and I rose, and freaking we were just like playing on Fortnite, and then it was like 4 o'clock hit. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna log into work remotely, and I started working, and we're gaming, and I work at the same time. Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm multi-talented. Who writes motions and plays Fortnite?
So go ahead.
Yeah, so I would definitely say it's a pretty close for me personally between hip hop and video games. That exposed me to pop culture in its entirety. Yeah.
So Steve, same question for you. What was that? What do you think that quintessential thing was in your lifetime that, impacted our American landscape?
Yeah, my story is very kind of similar to Don's, actually. I love old school hip hop. It's in my blood. Grew up in Brooklyn. All I listened to when I was a little kid was Eric B. and Wu-Tang and fucking all that stuff. And then grunge came along, and it was like a whole other different pile of stuff. And there was like this crossover. You had Rage Against the Machine essentially rapping over these incredible fucking beats and riffs. And yeah, man, but for me, it was more horror movies. I just love this shit, When I was a little kid, I wasn't the normal kid, man. I didn't have cars or chicks or sports figures hanging on my walls. I had Freddy and Jason and the Tall Man and fucking Leatherface, and I just loved it. And I loved the first time I got to go to a Fangoria Weekend of Horrors, and I got to commiserate with all these other horror fans, and we instantly click because we're all part of this group, And that's the beauty of pop culture, because there's different groups and there's huge crossover between these groups. It's like when you love something passionately, it becomes who you are. It's in your DNA, you know? Video games for me probably kept me out of jail, because I could kill people for fake and not have to worry about the consequences. And that's wonderful. And then I grew up to write movies where people die. I'm like, I could kill them again. It's amazing. But I always said to myself after like the first horror convention that if I ever had a chance to create something where fans of horror or whatever, just you can go someplace and not worry about being judged for what they like, and they could just celebrate it. And that's what I did with Dread Central. I turned that into a huge community more than anything. And it was my pleasure bringing these sickos. I always say we're like the island of misfit toys, man, and just to get them together and let them just enjoy themselves. And, how many times have you been in the mall or at a store or whatever, and you see somebody wearing a t-shirt of something you love, whether it's horror or anime or hip hop or whatever, and you recognize it and you give each other the nod. That person is one of your people, And I think that's the community of it all, man. It brings people together. And, for me, just working on the opposite side of it, going from journalism to producing and writing, it just felt like a natural extension, a natural step for me. And it enables me to be creative. I had the whole thing, man. My mom would come up to me and said, maybe you should try to apply your kind of self to things that you could actually make money doing. And she wasn't wrong. It probably would have been a lot smarter, but I'm not known for my smarts. I'm known for what I love. And I wear my love for this on my sleeve, as does any person who's associated with any type of fandom. It's the authenticity behind it. When that you love something, again, it's in your DNA, and your bullshit meter is always sensitive. You could tell when someone's just posing or or trying to fit in. But you know what? It's like, dude, just fit in, be yourself. It doesn't matter what your interests are. It doesn't matter what your skin color is, where you're from, anything like that. The only thing that matters is being a good person and loving and bringing people together, or at least in Father's, sense, scaring the shit out of them, which I've seen him do 1,000 times. And it always makes me laugh because I'm going to out you. I'm going to out you. I'm sorry. You're like the nicest motherfucker I know. Okay. And that's the beauty of it too. Cause sometimes
You're
people
messing
look
with his
at-
brand, Steve. Don't mess with his brand, Steve.
I know, but that's the beauty of it. When you look at these hardcore fans of anything, sometimes they get labeled like horror fans or labeled freaks or anime.
I wear that name proudly.
Me too, man. I'm a proud fucking freak. And anime fans are sometimes labeled nerds, or gamers are labeled whatever. But you know what? Fuck your labels. Just do what you do. Love what you love and be who you are, because you're the only you that is out there. So you better fucking be the best you that you can, and fuck what anyone thinks. Okay, I'm done preaching. Thanks.
Good. Because I want to
We
hear.
need that.
Yeah, it's true. We do. Everybody needs that reminder. Drop it on me, Father Evil. What is that quintessential, you think, American pop culture moment that from your lifetime?
I could pinpoint it to, I guess, I think it was 1983 or 84. I was 9 or 10. And I remember looking at the TV guide, see what's coming on Friday night. And I remember seeing a little ad for Halloween. And it was the original Halloween, obviously. That was 78. And I had seen it in the movie theater when I was a kid, but I remember like having this feeling like, oh my God, I love this movie. And then seeing that on TV guide, something in me just like, okay, I need this. This just needs to be in my life, And right then and there, I knew I was a horror fan. And I was just enamored with it. And I was always a scared little kid. I was the youngest of 4, and my brother, I had an older brother who would torment me and stuff. So yeah, he would hide under the bed, or he would put talcum powder over his face and look. He would hide under the bed because he knew I had this routine where I had to check over, under the bed before I went to bed, because make sure there's no monsters under my bed. And then one time he's under there, and he makes this face like that. And it just torment. I mean, it scarred me in a good way. But that's when I realized, wow, it's a rush that I get from this horror thing. It's a safe rush we all get. It's like, mountain climbers or whatever, or skydiver. It's a safe rush. You're kind of putting yourselves in those shoes, but you're not, So to me, that's what it always was. What really cemented it is when I had my sobriety. I hit my sobriety when I was 2007. Prior to that, I was just always pounding it down. That was my thing. Anyway, I became sober, and around that time, my wife's very good friend, her husband went sober too, and they wanted something their husband to do other than go to a bar, because like, we should hang out, whatever. Let's do something. Well, let's not go to a bar. Let's do something with the boys. Like, does Lou like horror? My wife's like, he loves horror. Oh, cool. There's this convention down here in Parsippany called Chiller Theater. I think he'd like it. So I think I liked it a little bit, just a little bit. I remember going to this, and I'm like, holy shit, this is my tribe. I was looking all around, and I'm like, these are my people. I mean, everything here is what I've always wanted. And I'm like, wow, it would be so cool if I could be cool like that guy one day. That would be just so cool. And one year, my wife, she's like, I told her we started going to horror conventions. That was our thing now. And so I'm like, one year, I kept on threatening her. I'm like, one year I'm going to go dressed. Watch this, you wait. And she goes, if you do, don't go crazy. But just, because she knows how I get. So then I had this idea. It was, I was gonna do like some prosthetic stuff. Not that I was any good by any means, but I was good enough to win first place at a dive bar. So that was to tell you my expertise in the thing. So my wife's like, don't spend money on that. It's like $50 for a one-time use. That's a waste of money. Just go something silly, go crazy, whatever. I'm like, all right, whatever. So I figured, what would really mess with somebody if I saw, in real life, like zombie, clowns, played out, vampires, and I'm like, I got it. And it's kind of like very taboo, a possessed priest, a Catholic priest, because if they could get to them, what chance do you have? So that's what I ran with. So I used to, I was known to make this evil face back in the day when I was working at Best Buy. They used to call me Evil Lou. So I said, fuck it, let me just run with this. So I kind of had this look, but I didn't. This wasn't as robust as you could say. So I put on a pair of contacts and no makeup, just a pair of contacts and a $20 costume from Party City. And I went. And people were like, holy shit. And I'm like, what? Just a $20 costume from Party City. Is this that simple? But I didn't see what they saw. To me, it was I just put on a pair of contacts, put on a stupid costume, and people are losing their minds. I'm like, it can't be that simple. Well, you zoom out and look in, I'm like, I see what they saw. So what really got me going is I walked into this one room, just walking by, and you know how you get directors in a room or whatever, and people are in line waiting, and they're just chit-chatting, taking pictures. And I'm like, oh, this guy looks pretty cool. And he's like, he's a director from Italy. I forgot who he was. I mean, to this day, it kicks me in the ass because this is the guy that gave me planted that seed without knowing it. He looked at me and he did like a triple take, and I'm like, and he got up from his table, excused himself from his audience, and went over to me. And he's like, wow. This is so amazing. This is so simple, but so to the point. Less is so, my God, but in broken English, in heavy Italian accent. He called his producer to start taking pictures of me and him. And I'm like, did this shit just happen? So I looked at my wife. I'm like, did that happen? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, maybe I got something here. So I ran with it.
Can I ask one question?
Yeah.
Did that happen at a Chiller Theater?
Yeah.
I can tell you who your director was because I was there.
Don't keep them waiting, Steve.
I know. I'm laughing because I know this exact moment. His name was Luigi Cozzi. Cozzi. There's your director.
Look at that.
Wow. Comes around full
That's
circle.
The guy. The way he reacted, I'm thinking, all right, this guy's an artist. He sees something. Let me run with this.
Yeah.
Luigi Cozzi. I'll send you a link later to all of his work. He did.
Holy shit.
What he's most known for is Alien Contamination and a bunch of those other low budget.
Dude, this dude legit ran up to me. And I'm like, holy shit. This is my first fucking con dressed up.
You remember I said I saw you doing your thing before I left for California?
Dude, I grew somewhat since then. I mean, that was a $20 costume.
You have a pretty good look. I mean, it's not exactly forgettable.
No, it's not forgettable.
Yeah, it hits you in the soul.
So listen, Chris, I'm gonna come to that question.
I give you that piece of your history, man. You have
wow, dude, please and thank you for that info. That was around 2009. No. 2009 or 10.
Yeah.
Luigi Cozzi.
All right. So you guys can hug and kiss in a minute. Let me move this show along here. Thanks, guys. Chris, I'm going to have that same question for you in just a second, but I want to introduce our next guest who is sitting patiently. So you know this guy from The Walking Dead. He is more than that. He is a veteran. So respect your veterans, folks, and say thank you for the service. Because we love veterans here at Black Ink. But he's also an author. He's a creative as well. I particularly
Okay, I don't know about anybody else, but this one film he was in, film and the follow-up series, Howard's Mill, this just got me hooked. I love that show. Let me introduce. Oh wait, maybe I'm wrong. Oh no, who is this? Oh, this is Saint. I can't read it.
Son of a Saint.
Son of a Saint. Okay, so it wasn't Sergio, but so okay. Let me bring it. That was your intro, Saint. You're going to correct me because I just made myself look like an idiot.
God, I know I haven't slept in a while. And I might look like a zombie, but no, folks, I was not on The Walking Dead.
Okay, you weren't in and you are, but you're not. All right, so forgive me. I thought it said, and this is why I probably should get.
I know that guy. I
What's
know
up,
that guy.
Lou? What's up, Lou? Long time no see. Hi, guys.
I remember my wife misread your poster.
Yeah,
And she said, "Who's Sonofa Saint?"
Yeah, great story too.
Well,
But
hey,
for
listen.
introductions,
So,
for introductions, my name is Angel Manuel Lopez. I'm a digital artist, key art artist, known as the Son of a Saint. I am a digital artist that is known for doing comic book covers, movie posters, branding, key art for various branding and such. And I'm the guy you call when you want hyper realism and you have something crazy in mind. I can bring it to life. I can spawn life. So that's what I'm known for.
Oh, what? Oh,
Sample
we're
of
seeing
some of
the
his
board
work.
right up there.
He designed
Oh.
this for our movie poster, actually, for the Terror Loop.
Oh, wow.
And that was wife of the saint that just jumped in real quick.
So,
But,
real quick, Saint, when you do your work, just give me the rundown because I'm a designer and artist as well. So you just but I don't get into the digital space. So, like, what are we using? What kind of tools? Like, how are you crafting
So I'm
such
using
amazing work?
Yeah, so currently I'm using Photoshop, Illustrator, and ZBrush and Hexagon 3D. So I've spent years as an illustrator doing traditional illustrations for a long time, until 2012, 13 or so. I got introduced to the Adobe stuff, and I started doing vector style art for heavy metal bands and stuff. So I started doing t-shirt art for a lot of heavy metal bands, and it evolved from there to digitally painting on Photoshop. And I started learning 3D to kind of make a more hyper realistic version of art because I started getting inspired by guys like Boss Logic and Spider Monkey and guys like that that did the hyper realism. So I wanted to figure out a way, and I also was a graphic designer, so I wanted to figure out a way to marry my ability to draw and my ability to do graphic design, but without it looking like either or the other. I wanted to create like a whole new style that would give you that realism to make you second guess, yo, is this a picture or what is this? Like, what am I looking at? Because the graphic design part of my brain made me understand that I only had about 3 to 4 seconds to capture somebody's attention. And then the artist part of me just wanted to throw in these type of techniques that you just can't do in graphic design. So, and through that, I was able to do, excuse me, a lot of artwork for different bands. That was like the beginning of my career for like Judas Priest, Steel Panther, Static X, recently Guar. I got to do a lot of movie posters that are on Amazon Prime right now, on Tubi. I got to do a crap ton of comic book covers for the indie scene, and forget it. And from there, I got to be able to get picked up and do a lot of key art design for brands like Bacardi, Booking.com. Like my dream project was Booking.com. I got to, you guys remember the Addams Family animated movie that first came out? Booking.com, they do crazy kind of like activations for them, right? So they took this 3-story Brooklyn brownstone building and they hired me to turn all 3 floors into a recreation of the Addams Family Mansion. And I did everything. I did everything from the wallpapers to the portraits to mirror books, whatever they needed. That was such a fun job. Even the signage to the front, I because I know how to fabricate, so I was able to like cut and make stuff out of materials to make it look like the gate of the Addams Family in the front without using metal. right? But it had to be structurally sound to withstand wind and weather and all this other stuff. So I've been doing this. I've been doing this a long time.
All right, you see, this is the thing. Like, I'm not a starstruck guy. I don't go. I'm not a bit like I won't go gaga over movie stars. But this guy right here, I'm a nerd. Like listening to this dude because that's that stuff right there. I love that stuff. Like I'm like so nerded out. I'm like, dude, I need an autograph. No, seriously, I'm gonna need an autograph, Saint. Seriously,
I don't charge money for autographs, just sandwiches. You know what I'm saying?
you down?
Sandwiches.
Sorry.
I'll get you a White House famous when we're in Atlantic City.
Yes, fair.
So anyway, going back before I botched up that intro, Chris, what is that quintessential pop culture moment you feel that impacted you and impacted society?
This is I don't stumble on questions, but this is a hard question. Like I'm that jack of all trades. I've dabbled in art, I've dabbled in film, I DJ'd, you know, my cousin is DJ Charlie Chase, the godfather of hip hop and Latino DJs. Um
Perfect.
so I had brothers and cousins, and I was introduced to gaming and film and comics, and then I grew up with this guy next to me too. That's the only one that can contain the evil and keep me under the best behavior. Saint is my god brother. um but I would have to say my my moment was probably that moment that I embraced something by myself. And I was a Disney head, I won't lie, but I do love my comics. You know, my mom tried to make me a princess, but I wasn't having it, and Saint could tell you. She tried very hard, she even put me in pageants, but
She's
I
still
had
trying. She's
she's
still
still
trying.
trying. I think she would gave up after 38 years. Um, I think it would have to be that Saturday morning that I sat at the TV by myself and I watched my first episode of X-Men, that I was really able to sit down and pay attention to it. And it was just something about Storm. And like I was like, "Oh my god, you know, this is my kindred spirit." Then I had brothers, and my brother was like all about Batman and Batman this, and I was like, Batman's, no offense, and I know Saint will want to kick my ass, Batman sucks, Joker's better. You know, I embraced my villains
Yeah.
because I felt like I embodied the villain mentality and understood him more than some of the DC heroes. Like I'm a big fan of Wonder Woman, absolutely. You know, she's such a badass. I'm into Greek mythology and philosophy and stuff like that. But then it was I I will have to go back even further after realizing I was embracing these villains. When I saw Sleeping Beauty when I was a little girl, I didn't want to be Sleeping Beauty. I wanted to be Maleficent. Like, and that's who it is. And then when I went through what I went through as a survivor and trying to find myself again, it was embracing that villain mentality that helped my healing process. You know, I grew up in Brooklyn. Um, I grew up in a melting pot. I grew up in a law enforcement family, and I was always different. I never felt like I fit in. Like, yeah, I could fit in. But it was that. And then I was a Latina that didn't look like a Latina. Like, I'm not Spanish enough for the Spanish people, but then I'm not white enough for the Blanquitos either. So it's that concept too. So embracing that while I was going through what I went through as a survivor, I just did it. And it took a 2 hour, 4 hour, 2 sessions, 2 hour sessions of tattooing this person that I felt like who I embodied the most. Like my first cosplay really was her. And you know, I love her. I even call myself the mistress of misfits. But between Maleficent and seeing Sleeping Beauty as a little 4-year-old girl, and then that Saturday night cartoon, it was everything. And then as I gotten older, I dabbled into everything, getting into horror movies. Like my ultimate favorite horror movie will be The Exorcism and Freddy Krueger. Big Freddy Krueger fan. Um, and then music was always around me. So, and then, my cousin being who he was, I got to listen to hip hop because then I'll be like, my excuse would be like, oh, I'm listening to Charlie to my mom. And my mom be like, oh, okay. Oh, okay. Like my parents didn't care for hip hop. So it was just like, hey, Star Wars, my brother Johnny Boy, he put me onto Star Wars, and they created the little monster you see today. Saint is actually funny because I'm sure he's not going to answer this, but Saint was in a rock band too. So
That
seeing
response right there. Did you see?
him and his career, helped. I dabble. I think the only thing I probably don't listen to, I think Saint actually made fun of me. He was like, you look like a poker listener. And I'm like, what the hell is that? So yeah, I love music. I love to travel, but I think it was that Saturday morning watching X-Men for the first time and Sleeping Beauty when I was a little girl that
So-
helped created this little demonic being you see.
So Chris, I want you to check out a movie. It's based on a comic book. The comic book creator is Everett Hartzell. He's also the creator of Razor. Big back in the early indie boom of the late 80s, early 90s. But he did a comic called The Curse of Sleeping Beauty, and they made it
Ooh.
into a film.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
Yeah, check it out because
Yeah.
Sleeping Beauty's a bitch.
She is. She was an ungrateful
She ain't your Disney
little bitch.
princess in that movie, but I think you'd like that one.
Like she's like, I won't tell my daughter, like even my daughter, I call my daughter my Sleeping Beauty because she kind of softened my little heart, my little black heart.
Yeah.
But like, like she got a Lego set and it was like a Sleeping Beauty and Maleficent was in there and she popped me. She's like, Mommy, look, it's you. I was like, yeah. Like even my kids know, like my son, I would like traumatize him when he was little because I would like catch him like before he could even do nothing. And he was like, you weren't even looking at me. How do you know? And I was like, Mommy's the Wicked Witch of the West. Like,
Mommies know.
oh,
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
But it's something to be said about that, right? Like listen, we all grew up with heroes, but realistically, as you get older, the villains make more sense and they look better. So like this is something about the actual design of a villain too, right? Speaking from an artist's point of view, they're more fun to, at least for me. When I love when I get a commission that I have to do something with a villain because they're just so much more fun to make than a hero.
Well,
heroes are kind of like bold and kind of like out there, but villains, there's just something about it, right?
But
Like,
here's the thing about heroes. Heroes are villains with license. That's all they are. When you think about everything that a hero is, even Superman, it's I'm Superman, you're the bad guy, so I'm going to get to break shit and get away with it. Unlike you, villain, who you break shit, you're going to have to pay for it. So heroes with villains with license.
fair,
You
yeah.
know?
Yeah, it's the truth. I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna love our superheroes. Like when it comes to Marvel, I embrace the superheroes of Marvel. When it comes to DC, because DC was like that darkness. I love Tim Burton. He's one of my favorite directors. Other than Guillermo del Toro, he it was that shift. But then I was also that kid that was from Brooklyn, and like Marvel, like yeah, they mentioned Gotham and this, that, and the third, but Marvel like gave us Captain America, and his lingo was, I'm just a kid from Brooklyn, and like coming from Brooklyn. And then Spider-Man was from Queens. I really didn't like Spider-Man. I wasn't too fun. But when they created Miles Morales, I was like, oh shit, I could relate to Miles Morales. Not only is he Hispanic, but his dad's an NYPD cop. So is mine, So it was like growing up in a society where a lot of kids our age at the time, when we grew up in the better years, because listen, we had the good shit. We had like these kids don't know. Um, we couldn't identify with one particular person. I still can't identify with a Disney princess. Let's just put it that way. You know, the way some people can. But like with
I got the
Marvel,
same problem. I got the same problem.
with Marvel, I was able to identify with something, being the sense, hey, I'm from Brooklyn. My dad's an NYPD cop. You know, the Scarlet Witch. You know, it was these little personalities that helped me kind of understand myself and separate myself from society. I knew I was different since I was a kid because the way I thought. So it comes down to that too. And I had an amazing childhood because of these certain artists. And you know, I would kiss the ground that these artists walk on, because when I was being bullied because I was a cop's kid, like it was sitting down in a room watching these cards. Like Steve said it perfectly. I could just go and shoot a person in the game. And it's like this. Listen, I'll come home from work and I'll be like, yo, I need to jump on Fortnite and like start shooting people and like hurt some little kids' feelings. Like, you know, like, yeah, you got beat up by a 38-year-old woman.
You know
So,
what I
you know,
used to do? Just to chime in. I'm really good at Mortal Kombat,
I was playing that today.
like ridiculously good. And back when I think it was Mortal Kombat 10, or maybe the one right before that was out, I used to go next door to my neighbor's house and take their 4-year-old, right? And bring him to my house. And I used to put the headset on him, right? And I used to just beat the shit out of people relentlessly while this little tiny kid was talking to him, and they thought they were getting beat up by a 4-year-old.
Brilliant.
Like I'm ripping
Absolutely
their spines
brilliant.
out.
Yo,
And the kid's like,
that's hilarious. That is hilarious. That's like the dad
Brilliant.
that has the little kid, the little girl prodigy, the Fortnite prodigy. I don't know if everyone's seen her videos.
No, I was,
He'd be like, "Oh, it's you playing," and no, this little girl be whooping their asses. And like, I won't lie, like, you know, my daughter has Fortnite, but like they're filtered. My kids are filtered. Like sometimes my son will game with us when we're streaming, but I have a rule: he can't talk while we're streaming. But there'll be games like we did. What was it? The Daft Punk challenge. If it wasn't for my son, he carried us all. His score was like 100 and something thousand, and we're yelling like, Nico, come get us. And everyone's like, why isn't, probably saying like, why isn't Nico talking? And meanwhile we're like yelling, and Nico was carrying us. And my daughter, the other day, I saw her playing and she like sniped someone. I was like, oh my god.
that's
I'm
hilarious.
so proud.
your heart
So proud.
welled with pride.
All right. So we're talking right now. You just led us into it. It was a nice lead in to talk about some of the dumb shit we did in the past. But let's be real here. I know that some of you on here, y'all like, hey, I grew up in the 90s. It was so great. But there was nothing greater than being on that steel merry-go-round in the park, and your friends were swinging you around as fast as you can. 6 people trying to push that steel thing that was 10,000 degrees in the summer, and you're
Oh,
holding on for dear life. So let me ask you a question. How many of you actually experienced steel slides, steel merry-go-rounds? All of you. Nice. You're
I
good
still
people.
have the scars,
I
man.
think I still have a scar from one on the back
So
of
talk
my
about
hat.
what kids won't remember or have the
That's why they're
pleasure,
so soft. They're
right?
Listen,
soft.
I remember I like Chris said, like we grew up in Brooklyn and there's a park that was by my house, the Fort Greene Park, right? So there's a pair of stairs that go straight down. During the winter, that was a freaking, like, it was a death trap, but it was fun as hell. You used to get milk crates, hook them up together, put a piece of wood on it, sit on it, tie a rope to it, pray to God, and go straight down.
I remember when I was growing up, when I was in grammar school in Hackensack, right behind the school. I don't know whose design was this, but it was idiotic. Literally, it must have been maybe from the school the backyard of the school, which was also doubled as the parking lot, was a fence. And then it was like 5 stairs, and then maybe like 8 feet of flat ground before it dropped into this massive hill. We used to call it Hiller's Hill. And the thing was, when I was growing up, there was no fence at the end of Hiller's Hill. And the thing about the park, it was a park at the bottom of the hill. But on the other side, now mind you, this park is now built like 10 feet off the ground from the sidewalk, from the street. So if the goal when you were little was to get enough momentum to get down that hill, slide however far, and try to fly into the street, Polyfly Road. I went back there about 15 years ago, 20 years ago, and they put a fence up. But we would go down that hill on garbage cans, garbage bags, cardboard. We would actually, like, I remembered, like, you always, when you were in bully mode, you'd steal the kid's coat in the middle of winter to try to slide down on it. I don't want to admit that we did that, but we did that.
But you do.
but we did that crazy shit. Like, you would down didn't
Dude.
matter what you were going on.
But those are fun times to be a kid. We didn't have, when I was growing up, there wasn't no. I mean, there were video games, sure, but they were like Atari and like Nintendo, and that wasn't grabbing your attention the way the games do nowadays. So you would probably play a little bit, but you wanted to go outside. Especially in Brooklyn, like we were playing stickball, we were playing manhunt, handball against, like, I used to live right by the Navy Yard, so like they had warehouse gates. We wait for those gates to come down so we could play handball off the gate. Like it was like those fun times. They're playing baseball, like stickball. We were playing a way that we were like, okay, so across the street, I'm gonna pitch to you. If you hit the third floor window, that's a double. If you get it on the roof, that's a home run. You know what I mean? And then you'd be in the middle of the street, and then everybody's seen Wayne's World, I'm assuming, right? When they're playing hockey in the street, they go, car. That was really us, car. Those are fun times.
Our time frame was as soon as the sun started going down.
Get your ass home.
You were lucky. You got to play manhunt at night. If you were lucky.
You know what I'm real pissed about, dude? I feel cheated. I feel so fucking cheated. It's not even funny. When I was like 6, my father was like, here's a shovel. Go out there and shovel, right? So I remember I'm like from 6 to 13. All I did was make money in the winter shoveling, right? And so I moved to California. There's no snow. I come back here to the East Coast, right?
You barely get snow.
Right? No, there's snow, but there's not a motherfucking soul on the street want to shovel for money. So now my ass has to go back out there and shovel the fucking snow, and I earned the fucking right to pay some little motherfucker. And they're too lazy because they don't.
Talking about snow, remember that big ass I remember that blizzard. What was it? 93.
96.
96.
It was 96.
Yeah.
So
4 feet.
Like literally, it was so high. It was up to my second floor window that like we had to jump out the window to go play in it, and we would like sliding off the garage into the snow.
Oh my god! I do you one better. Hold up. So that blizzard of 96, my father was a truck driver. Okay. And for that blizzard, he parked his big rig on the street in Brooklyn. Okay. That thing got covered in snow. So I forgot what the hell it was that I was driving him crazy asking him for. And he was like, what do you want? And I'm like, I want this. He goes, how much is that? It's like, all right, I'll tell you what. See my truck? Go dig my truck out. Right? I'm like, and he goes, I'll get you what you want. All right. I dig his truck out. It takes me a couple hours. I'm done. I'm like, Pop, I'm done. Blah, blah, blah. He goes, all right, that's cool. So check this out. So I spoke to our neighbors while you were doing that, right? So I want you to do 1, 2, 3, 4 houses, do all these houses, driveways, do the street, help the store out, because I used to live on top of a bodega, help the store out and clear out some stuff. I worked until like 9 p.m. And then he's like, all right, so how much is that again? And I told him, he goes, you don't need that.
I'm sorry. I gotta applaud your dad for that one.
I was like, damn. I got.
So I'm gonna bring in a gentleman by the name of Eric Stevens. He runs a small business called Comics and Killer Collectibles, And if there's anybody out there that could talk to us about pop culture impact, it's this guy. I've seen the toys he has, and I look at some of the stuff and I'm like, oh my God, this is unbelievable that he has this. So, Eric, we're going to jump you right in here.
Oh, hi.
Hey, so now we're getting a little squishy in the screen.
I see a couple
then-
beautiful faces I know. Look at that. Father, how are you? Mr. Creepy, how are you? I am an inappropriate vendor.
So Eric, you and I ran into each other at a show, and you have now booked a few guests, which are sitting in the wings waiting to come on, and we're going to bring them on and introduce you because you repping them. You introducing these amazing, iconic. Let me just say this: these guys are iconic, and
They are.
Tony,
Absolutely.
I got Tony up, but I don't know why his screen isn't showing. I see him in the
Tommy.
This is the pit bull.
There we go. Let me go back here.
There we go.
Do this again. Yeah, I can't get Tommy in.
Tommy, bottom corner. Make sure your icon is clicked on for the camera.
You guys
The
see me?
Pitbull. I see you, Pitbull. How are you, man?
Good. What's happening, brother?
What's up, you
and Tommy are icons of pop culture as far as I'm
Absolute
concerned.
icons.
Oh, yo,
You know.
dude, we were in TWA before it became ECW, man. Shit.
Yeah, I
So
gotta
let-
say, I am completely fucking nerding out because my ass would drive from Sheepshead Bay, Brooklyn to Swanson and Rittner once a month to see the Pitbulls, to see Tommy Cairo, Sandman. So from a fan, thank you for all that you've done, man. You guys have busted your asses to make sure people were entertained. God bless you.
I really appreciate that, man. Thank you. God bless you, brother. Thank you.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
there
know,
he is.
There's
I saw the head.
Gary's going to be at our event in March, at our pop culture event. So I just wanted to put that up there because it's I'm just one of those, gratuitous plug kind of guys. So we got that there. And just because I don't want to, Steve, I can't leave you out either. You're going to be appearing at our event as well.
Oh,
And,
worst picture of me ever. God damn it. Look, I have ham hanging off my jaw. What the fuck, dude? I lost like fucking 200 pounds since then, man.
Listen, you're not Steve, you're not
Creepy,
fat. You're easier to see and harder to kidnap, bro.
Yes, exactly.
We got Father Evil will be showing up.
Nice. Wicked.
Sinners everywhere. Sinners.
Sinners. He's gonna have a rough day there. I don't know if his senses are gonna be able to.
It's going to be an overload.
It's gonna be an overload. But,
So many smelly
It's
sinners.
gonna be super.
It's Atlantic City. You're fucked. Your senses
I
are going to be
know.
going nuts.
I'm going to have that
Oh,
con crud afterwards.
So I'm cramming 9 of us on the screen here. It's a little bit hard. I usually try to keep it not more to 6, but I don't want you guys going away. Tommy, can you lower your camera a little bit so we can see you? Because just the way the screen's landing, it's putting us on the top half of your room there.
The ceiling.
The ceiling, yeah.
Tommy, tilt your camera down. Tommy, tilt your phone down.
Tommy's like, I do what I
So
want.
let's do this.
Tommy's
Dom-
He is.
mad
He
about
is.
the photo that was used on advertisement.
He's gonna do the whole interview like that, and he doesn't give a shit.
That's cool. I'm down with that. That's great TV. Hey, listen, Don, Chris, I'm going to put you in the
I
back room
love
for a
it.
couple minutes. I'm not trying to blow you out, but
Nope,
just
it's
stick
okay.
around, okay?
There we go.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, he probably don't. Maybe
I
he's,
need to
he
get
can't
Alex
hear
in.
us.
It looks
boss.
like
I'm gonna
looks like I need.
try to message him real quick. So you
Yeah.
Bill.
So yeah, well, I mean, it's not always now. Poor Eric is frozen in like one of the worst worst visual elements. It's always.
I was
freezes up.
actually messaging Tommy that I backed out so I could message Tommy, be like, tilt your camera down.
You look like
Yeah,
you
but
were
it's like-
auditioning
Was it
for
up my
that
nose?
really-
Was it up my nose?
No, it's just the
Because
blurry
you can
eye
see your
look of your
thoughts.
eyes.
You were
No,
getting
no.
Your thoughts.
consider Donnie you
So
posed
listen,
from Blair
um,
Witch, dude.
Let me
You're,
get.
I
So,
wanna say sorry.
Saint, you don't mind? I'm going to put you on the in the green room too. All
I
right,
don't know.
thank you.
I love you,
And
Steve.
let's get Tommy back in here.
Side note, how's your
We got
wife?
a green here.
Good.
Give her my best.
How's your ankle?
Sucks. I'm lucky I can
Alright.
walk and breathe air at the same time, apparently.
There he is.
There he is.
Oh, there he is.
There he
And
goes.
Oh, nah, he's gone.
All right, so listen, we're going to move forward. Listen, Pitbull, how do you want me to call you, Mr. Wolf, Gary, Pitbull? Please don't beat my
You
ass.
call me Gary.
Okay, Gary.
I'm fine with that, especially from you. If you're introducing me to somebody, it's Gary Wolf, the Pitbull.
Gary Wolf, the Pitbull. Fantastic.
But you call me Gary, brother.
Thank you, sir. So, you know, you are an ECW legend, and wrestling is a massive impact on pop culture. Massive. This is not something that just showed up in 2000 and took the world by storm. Before I was even able to turn the dial on TV, wrestling was around. And you were part of this pop culture phenomenon. And honestly, you know, ECW was, I think, quintessentially the thing that changed the face of wrestling. I mean, people are going to say WWE, Vince McMahon. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say he had a marketing prowess. He knew how to play to the market. But as far as the wrestling landscape, it was the ECW changed the landscape forever. So tell us about
It's
your-
100. You're 100% correct, because when we did the first one night stand, Vince McMahon and Vince Bischoff, everybody that worked for WWE practically, except for Stone Cold, who's in the back with us, they were all in the rafters up there, in that building in New York, the Hammerstein Ballroom. And to put it frank, they sat there with their jaws like this. They could not believe what we were doing. Like, you got Tanaka versus Mike Awesome, unbelievable freaking 5-star match. I mean, breaking like 10 tables in one match, power bombing guys from inside the ring to the outside of the ring on concrete. I mean, they were looking at us saying, how did these guys fucking do this? Because they've had it easy for a long fucking time. And what it came down to is, by us doing that show and the fans that were WWF fans seeing the ECW fans pack that place, sold out, and hearing the chants. WWE, you never hear chants before in wrestling in WWF or WWE.
Nope.
ECW invented the chants, invented the signs. I don't want to hear shit about it. I was in WWE. They make signs and hand them to people. People that came to ECW would bring not only weapons for us to use in the ring, but they would make their own signs. You know what I'm saying? Some people.
What's the guy bring a PlayStation as a weapon?
Yeah, I mean, but don't get me wrong. Some WWE fans did make their own signs, and they were really good, But the chants weren't there until we got in that business, and they seen what goes on in the arena. Vince he had his hand in our company probably the last 4 years of it. To be perfectly honest with you, he was probably sending Paul Heyman a check every month, just to keep us in line. Because what happened was, after that night, it became the Attitude Era. Wrestling changed that night.
Yes.
Professional wrestling, it wasn't like it was back in the 80s where, you have to actually look at the guy hit you just so you know he hit you. Okay, that's how light they were. They pumped shit up, man. When Steve Austin got in there as Stone Cold, everything changed. And The Rock, everything changed. The Attitude Era, we did that. We changed it, ECW. We have a cult following. I mean, they're posting stuff of my comeback when I legit broke my neck, broke my neck, C1 vertebrae. Came back 8 months later. Rick Rude actually brought me back, and I just saw it on Facebook. It was 29 years ago, like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So you really,
Shit.
I mean, and I think too, the ECW era of wrestling was where a lot of I would argue the wrestling isn't real conversation ended. There was a lot of that going on when I was a kid. I loved wrestling, and people, oh, wrestling isn't real. Wrestling isn't real. And there was always that argument for the people who I guess were not fans, right?
Yeah,
when you
they
had
would
the
use
EC
that term.
Yeah.
I always say, you can't say it's fake. It's just predetermined who's going to win and who's going to lose.
Right, but I mean,
and
when it comes
as
to
professional
athletic,
wrestlers, and as professional wrestlers and athletes, we have to tell that story to get that ending perfect, and that's what we do.
right. And again, I think while it was athletic, I think from the news media perspective of the early days of wrestling, it was really that ECW era that shut everybody up. That's my perspective, because you didn't hear that. You didn't hear people say that anymore.
No, because a lot of us were. This is why we have this cult following. A lot of us weren't just staying in the United States. I mean, you got me, the Pitbulls, you got Sabu, you got Rob Van Dam, you got Chris Jericho, Chris Benoit, Dean Malenko, Eddie Guerrero. We all would go to Japan and work for New Japan. And then we would always come back and go and work for ECW. They allowed us to do that.
So, Father Evil, if you don't mind, I'm gonna put you in the back room too. I want to get a couple other people in here, and I've actually
Nice meeting
my
you,
room
brother.
is my room
Likewise.
is full. So, Don,
Evil,
do you
see you
mind
soon, baby.
I'll see you soon,
Yeah.
brother.
Don, if
Love
you're
you, buddy.
listening, I gotta kick you out because I got other people coming. So I'll get back to you, Don. But thanks for being on. And Father Evil, you stay in the back room for a few. If I could find you here. There he is. All right. All right. So I'm going to bring on a gentleman. And I didn't mean to cut you off, Gary. There's just so many people trying to jump in.
No, I'm right here, bro. I'm right here. I just had to tell somebody I'm doing a podcast.
Yeah, no problem. I'm going to bring in a gentleman. He's an artist out of New York, right? New York.
New York, yes. How's it going?
How are you, sir? So,
I'm recovering from a fever.
Well, you came to the right place. Well, how did you come to the wrong place for that? Because we're just a lot of hype here. So, tell us a little bit about you and your. Tell us what influenced you as far as pop culture and your art.
Well, I love pop culture. As you can see, I'm a costume designer. I'm a painter. I work with kids, and comic books have been my life since I was a kid. So my goal is to inspire the youth to do what I do, which is be prominent within these fields and share their love for pop culture, because that's what brings us all together.
So you're going to be, we're going to be actually an exhibitor at one of our events coming up, if I'm not mistaken. I think
Yes, the Popped event.
Right, Popped. So we'll be able to see you'll be displaying all your work for us.
Yes.
Awesome. So tell us, this is pop culture, right? So we've been talking about comic books and horror movies and legendary wrestling with a legend himself right here, Mr. Gary Wolf. So tell me, you said pop culture influenced you, comic books influence you. So where does, how old are you first, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 31 in a couple of days, or in a month from now. Yeah. 31.
All right. So, you come in from a generation, I guess the 90s, right? So, right,
yes.
Somewhere in there in the 90s. So you were you come from that sort of 2000s generation of influence. So in that era, what influenced you?
Definitely, you guys just got through talking about the Attitude Era. That was literally the era that I grew up in. So thank you for creating that, by the way.
Appreciate that, brother.
Yes, of course. The Attitude Era was huge for us. definitely video games. That's when Nintendo 64 had come out, and yeah, all the wrestling games that came out for the Nintendo 64.
WCW versus NWO, baby.
Yes.
Aki Engine, THQ.
Yes. Even beyond then, from PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2. There's been so much that has transpired within that specific era, even if we're talking about just X-Men, the cartoon that came out, Spider-Man, Hulk, those animations that came out around that time played a big role. Saturday morning cartoons, just waking up, watching those cartoons on Saturday morning is what kind of shaped me today.
You know, it kind of depresses me for these kids today, man, because I remember I couldn't fucking wait to wake up on Saturday morning to turn on cartoons. Yes. You know, it was like a
Bugs
whole
Bunny
experience, man.
Bugs Bunny.
Fucking
Bugs Bunny.
Wile E. Coyote.
Listen, when
Super
Elmer Fudd,
genius.
Yo, I
Now,
gotta
here's-
tell you, when I moved to Jersey and I found out that Acme was actually a supermarket, it fucking blew my mind, man. I always thought it just made like explosives for.
I'm not gonna get into the history here, but there is a history as to why Acme was used, and short of it was there was a bunch of different Acme corporations, Acme this, Acme that, Acme the other thing at that period of time, and so that's how the animators picked up on Acme, because it was like Acme Metal Company in real life. And so they're like, oh, hell with it. We'll make like Acme bombs and Acme skates. So that's where the Acme comes from. But I'm going to jump in here and see if we could get Tommy back in one more time. Tommy, can you hear us? All right. I don't know if Tommy could hear us. And pull him out again because we got a lot of people trying to get in here. Let's see. Let's jump him one more time. Can you hear us, Tommy?
I'm only going to be on for I'm going to be on for about 8 more minutes, so then you can put somebody in my spot, brother.
All right. Well, you know, I want to definitely talk real quick too. Going back to all right, Father Evil, I'm gonna have to boot you, and I got other people coming into the room, and I will catch up with you. Thank you for being on, Father Evil.
You need to let me go too, dude. I'd rather people get the spotlight and have some time to.
Really? Okay, because I mean, I'll just like kick you out right now and be an asshole about
Just
it.
fucking kick me out. But before you go, Gary, again, thank you. And you, my brother, have the coolest fucking screen name I have ever seen.
Thank you. Thank you. It's funny. I actually got that name because I used to teach at a paint and sip. And because of my hair and my voice, they'd be like, oh, you remind me of that guy on PBS. I'm like, I hate it here. But I finally accepted it.
Nice.
Guys,
I
it
love
was
it.
a pleasure. I love you.
Pleasure
all.
to
Thank
see you, brother.
Pleasure to meet you.
So, Steve, I'll shoot you a text when I'm done here and see if you're still available.
Sure.
All right.
All right.
Thank you for being on, bro.
You got it, man.
Later.
Later.
Yeah, for a 31-year-old, it seems like you have your shit together, brother.
Well, I was raised by my grandfather, so.
There you go. I mean, that's how I got into wrestling business. Every Saturday morning, I'd get up and I'd watch wrestling with my grandpa.
Oh,
But I
wow.
never thought you know what I mean? It was like, and then by the time I was 18, I actually met Hulk Hogan, and he took me on his bus and showed it to me, and I was scared to death, bro. I thought I was only like between 18 and 19. I started very young in this business. You know, I was just walking around the building just like, wow, I've never been in I've been in stadiums to watch a concert, but I never was behind the scenes and going to be in front of 35,000 people. And then when that night hit, it was, a shock, But meeting him, he was very nice. He invited me on his bus. He showed me. He was the only guy that had a bus at the time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Hogan was the man. I mean, if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan, guys wouldn't be making the money they're making now. He changed the whole He changed the whole landscape of being paid. Him and Flair did pretty much.
Oh, yeah. Ric Flair for sure. Yeah.
So I mean, like,
wow.
I heard a story once that Ric Flear flew to Japan, wrestled, flew back to America, wrestled, flew back to Japan and wrestled, flew back to America and wrestled, and he did this
Wow.
within like a 4-day period or something. I mean, that's how insane Ric Flair was. I mean, I just went to Scotland. Okay, so I jumped on the plane. I did a 10-hour plane ride on a Friday. I got there Saturday. I slept all day. They woke me up Sunday. I wrestled in a 20-minute dog collar match against Crowbar, one of their top guys in Scotland. And next thing you know, I'm flying back Sunday. I get back Monday. Another 10-hour flight back. You know, so we go through hell. People don't realize the shit we got to go through. You know?
Eric.
And I did a couple TV shows. You know what I'm saying? And that ain't no joke either. You know, I remember having to be in the chair at like 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. And some nights I wouldn't get done until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And you know, yeah, I had a place to stay there if I wanted, but I was in New York and I was actually crashing at a friend's house in Queens. I would just go back, take a cab. They'd pay for it. They didn't care. You know what I mean? It was a 20-minute ride. Yeah. But those hours were long. I did it was called Swift Justice. It was on Channel 57 back in the day. It was pretty cool. I was in it with Chuck Zito, who was president of the Hells Angels from New York. So it was pretty fucking wicked. But like I said, that's a rough job, man. I'm not going to bullshit you. You know, I met one guy. He does soap operas. He showed me his script for the week, and it was like that big. And he had to memorize all that. I was very impressed with that. And
well, you know,
who was the girl that was on the show with me? Swift Justice. Ben Affleck's ex-wife. Jennifer Gardner was on the show with me.
Wow.
And when I met her, she was. I was talking to her.
Okay,
she was
respect.
talking to me. I had a couple scenes with her. She was a waitress, man, at a joint in New York. She was, starving actor, trying to get it big. And look at her now. Look where she's at.
Yeah.
Superstar. Yeah.
I think she was 26 years old when I met her.
Wow.
Marvel,
So
baby.
I'm going to try to get Tommy back in here. I don't know if he could hear us or if he's having microphone problems.
Tommy.
And he's out again.
We'll get Tommy eventually.
So
He
Gary,
is probably punching his computer right now.
it keeps coming in and out. I don't know what's going on.
It's probably very simple. He's just probably angry. So
We'll try this one more.
I will say one thing I do appreciate most of all when it comes to wrestling and everything, because I grew up as a martial artist. I have nunchucks and all types of weapons everywhere. I've been doing it since I was 4 years old. So seeing the acrobatics and just appreciating the mental and physical fortitude it takes in order for you to pull off even half of those stunts is absolutely impressive. So hats off to you again.
I am
that's just
so
another
happy
level of
about this.
appreciation.
I appreciate it, man. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. My old man was a tough guy, man. He sent me to military. I went to Hargrave Military Academy in Chatham, Virginia. Okay.
Wow.
It's like one of the tops. Like you can't just go there and say I want to go. You have to be accepted, and it's like 5 meetings before you do get accepted. But you guys can look it up, man. It's like $58,000, man. But
Wow.
I was going there because I was going to be in special forces. This way, when I did get in the military, I go in as a lieutenant instead of being a fucking,
Malcolm, all right.
I gotta say, Mr. Wolf, I'm sitting here. I was in the back just listening, and I'm like, as you're talking, I'm like remembering your matches. Like I'm remembering your match with what was it? Damian Stone, was it?
Who?
Damian?
That sounds familiar.
I can't remember his name. It was definitely like early 90s. It was ECW for sure. But I'm a huge wrestling fan. I've been watching since like the golden era. And again, I got into it because of my grandfather. I'm Puerto Rican, so my grandfather used to watch the Carlos Colon, territory and stuff like that. So
Tag team champions, brother. Puerto
yeah,
Rico.
yeah. So I used to watch all that stuff and wrestling. Actually, in the beginning, when I first broke into the comic book scene, and I was doing conventions, wrestling helped my career a lot as an artist. Ric Flair, I did like artwork for Ric Flair. They landed me in like the Daily News, the New York Post, BuzzFeed. Like it was all over the place because of Ric Flair, and I got to meet him. I got to meet him at a Comic-Con, and I didn't even know he was there. I was like setting up my booth, and like a handler comes at me, and he sees like just put up my banner. He goes, "Son, are you Son of a Saint?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm Son of a Saint." He goes, "Yo, I gotta tell you, you're not gonna believe me, but Ric Flair said that if I saw you to grab you and to bring you to him." And I was like,
Yeah.
Wow.
Ric Flair,
That's awesome.
like Nate? Are you? Come on! I thought he was ripping me. I swear to God, I thought he was ripping me. I was like, there's no way in hell that Ric Flair wants to know, like he knows even who I am, right? You bring me in Ric Flair, and this is like right after he got sick, that he got out the hospital, so he was a little kind of like out of it a little bit, but he saw me, and I was like, "This is Son of a Saint." He looked at me, and he was like, "Son of a Saint." He was like, "Yeah, the guy you wanted me to bring." He goes, "Oh, you're that artist, right? That did that piece of me?" And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "You got prints of that?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He was like, "Well, bring it." I booked it to the table, got it, brought it to him. He signs one for me. He's like, "Can I keep this?" I'm like, "You can have the whole inventory. Like, you can have it all." So at that time, his ex-wife was with a Wendy, and she was like, "Let me take a quick picture of you guys." I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, absolutely. I take a picture with him. Go back to my table. So now I'm going about my day. I'm like happy. I'm like, shit, man, I got to be Ric Flair. That's awesome. My phone is exploding. Like I'm talking about, I can't even get into my phone because of the notifications. What the fuck is going on? And I I look at it. He had posted it on his Instagram.
Nice.
Oh,
And
nice.
I was like, what in the hell is going on? And I started doing more stuff for wrestling, and I got to do what's the name of it? Like my memory's shot, but Hog Wrestling. It's in New York. I think it's in Queens, maybe, or maybe even Brooklyn.
Yeah. I heard of that before.
Red's in there. Red Rooster.
So I need to keep us moving along. You guys can reminisce at the event by all means. I will make sure that Saint I'll bring you right to Gary's table.
I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate it. Nice meeting you.
Oh yeah.
Nice meeting you.
But yeah, Gary. I mean, I do have another question from your experience. You're telling us the stories from the side of being the wrestler, from in the ring and the history, but where do you think what was some of the impact you had on children? You think, like, where did you really impact the kids who grew up today? Like, what was it that sparked in you like this electricity and this vibrance? What did you see that you were doing?
Well, I was always in martial arts. Like I said, my dad sent me to military school, so it was like as soon as I got there, it was like Israeli hand-to-hand combat right off the bat, and I was only 8 years old. But I'd like to give, like, we would always go to, like, ECW. That's one thing we always did, is go to the children's hospital on a weekly basis.
Wow.
At least twice a month we would show up there. I mean, you got to remember, we had a lot of doctors we would see. So at that time, they would say, "Yo, we have somebody in the hospital. Can you go see him?" We had no problem doing that. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's something I don't think people know about, like that stuff.
No, people don't realize we try to be as humble as we possibly can. If you guys really want to know my backstory, I'm going to plug it if you allow me. I got my book out there called Pitbull Unleashed. You can check it out. It's on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Walmart.com.
Fantastic.
Yeah, you gotta check it out, man. It's a pretty good read, I think. I've been told. But like I said, it starts from there. Me just getting up on a Saturday morning, watching wrestling with my grandpa, man. Pretty much, and then thinking that I'm gonna, maybe I can do that. But then when you see how big they were, and then when I don't know, say at that point I was probably 10. So take 8 years after that. I'm in the dressing room and I'm looking, I couldn't wait to meet Rowdy Piper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
because like he
Wow.
was so crazy and he was nuts. And when I did meet him, he was the quietest guy in the locker room. So at that time the Warrior, he made up for everybody's nuts there being crazy. So. And
So,
you got to remember
Tommy-
too, back then we got Tommy on, so that's a good thing.
Tommy, bottom left, there's a microphone button.
Now I see half his head. Come on, there you go. He looks pissed.
Awesome.
Bottom left, there's a microphone button.
Oh, there goes the camera.
You lost him.
It's all right. That's all right. I mean, I definitely.
Yeah.
He's got
I'm
it.
not.
He's got it.
listen,
He's
I'm
got
not.
it.
He's got it. He'll get on here eventually. But listen, you got any more? Well, I'll give you one more question, brother, because I have.
Well,
to roll.
I want you to plug that book again.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm about to write
Let
it
everybody
down.
hear it.
Okay, it's called Pitbull Unleashed.
And we can find that on Amazon, in Barnes and Noble.
Yeah, Walmart, Barnes and Noble,
Okay.
Amazon.
So full distribution.
Yeah, it actually came out May 3rd was the official date. It was I think I got up to 3 in wrestling books, and then
Okay. Congratulations.
out of all sports books, period, I was number 10. So I was up there for a couple weeks. But you know what I mean? It's been out for a while. But if you guys really want to know the backstory of the Pit Bulls and how we got started and where we all came from, because we all came from the same town, man. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I mean, the girl I'm with right now, I've been with her 26 years, and I went to school with her. We're all from the
Right.
same.
Wow.
You know what I mean? We didn't know we were going to be wrestlers. We wanted to be bodybuilders. We
Oh, wow.
didn't realize. I used to train with Johnny Jackson and his brother. Once his brother passed away, then I would train with Johnny and Johnny Jackson. Look him up, and you'll see something, bro. This guy is the strongest bodybuilder in the world as far as bodybuilding.
Well, I thank you for being on the show, for coming on. Appreciate it. And thank you for coming to our event. So, folks, if you want to see Gary Wolf, the Pitbull, he will be at Popped this March 21st in Atlantic City. And you'll get a chance to be with a wrestling legend.
Got it, man. Come on out and get some pictures and come and see me.
Absolutely.
Pitbull, #1, brother. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you, Gary.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you,
So,
Gary.
You
All right,
we're
bro. Talk to you
still-
later.
Take care.
Got it. Thanks, buddy.
We're still trying to get our man here, Tommy, on. Having some technical difficulties here. Can you hear us yet? We can't hear you.
I think Tommy, if you can hear me, there's a bottom left button. It looks like a little microphone.
Well, he's not showing up here on my thing as he's muted out. So I think it's a connection issue.
Damn.
So what I'm going to do, though, now is I'm going to bring back in Chris. So I want to bring Chris back in. And Eric, if you want to text him that I think it's a connection issue on his side. Reach out to him. Like, he could keep coming in, but something's not connecting with his device and everything, because he's not muted over here. Hey, Chris, and I wanted, so we got,
Hey, Bob.
we got Son of Saint, we got Black Bob Ross, we got Chris Valkyrie here, and Eric Stevens, and I want to bring in a legend. Okay, we just had a wrestling legend. We're trying to
I
get
know. I got to miss him.
so we're trying to get another wrestling legend in, but I want to bring in a legend of film, and he's a creative, and he's worked on some of the most amazing movies. And I know he I don't know if he's listening to me right now. I know his camera's off. Jeff, if you're there, we're going to be bringing you on in a minute if you can hear me. But Jeff Goodwin, he's a special effects artist, recently has retired. He's now working the circuit, and bringing the history of film to us. Jeff, let me know when you're ready to go. Just pop your camera on and I'll pop you in. I don't know how long I could drag this intro on for, though. But he has worked on films like Blue Velvet, Rambo 3, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the original one, and I'm gonna bring him on, and we're gonna put him on the spot right now because he doesn't have his camera on.
Oh yeah.
And we'll just say, and then, but he's used to things. He's used to.
I
being
do have a
caught up.
question about Blue Velvet though. Whenever he gets on here,
Whenever he gets on, well, can you? Hey Jeff, can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We just don't see you.
Oh, really? Because I'm okay. Let's see. Let me try again here.
Oh man.
Speaking of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, hold on.
Bro, you don't understand right now.
If he pops on one of those heads on, I'm gonna lose it.
I'm just like here, just like sitting like you don't understand. Like that was the movie, and then
yes, it was. Let's go.
He's a fellow NYU alumni as well. I went to NYU, and it was like I was like, I'm going to NYU. We're the director of the Ninja Turtles.
That's awesome.
I'm like banging. I don't bang.
Tommy's still trying to get in here. Jeff's got some camera issues. Let's see if we get Tommy back in here.
I don't know. We're gonna have to get some media team.
Yeah, for sure.
Some
Yeah,
media.
right? So
He might
Jeff, can
be
you hear us?
sitting in a dead spot.
Yeah, it could be a dead zone too.
Could be.
Oh, I'm
Could be.
so looking forward to Atlantic City.
Yeah, bro.
Oh my God, I'm actually paying homage to Jeff and.
So Jeff, we cannot hear you. You're not muted on my side. So I don't know if you got
coming
a
in
connection.
broken. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Yep, we just lost him. Hey, listen, I mean,
It happens.
It happens. We're going to see if we get him back in here. In the meantime, we'll keep talking while they're trying to figure. Can you hear us, Jeff? Yeah,
I can
Jeff.
hear you. Is it working?
Yeah, I hear you. We just don't see you.
We can hear you, but we can't see you.
Yeah.
That's weird. Huh? Okay, because I'm
All
showing
right.
up on the screen on my end.
Interesting.
All you guys there.
Let me check camera. Let's see.
Could it be a permission thing?
It shouldn't be.
Something popped. Yeah, there you go. So you're boom. Accept. Boom.
There you go.
There we go.
Oh, there you went.
There he went. Shit. We should have never gotten
That's all you get.
You know, I got to be honest with you. We're talking about modern era pop culture and all this stuff. I mean, let's be real here. It'd probably be so much easier if we had those giant
Now I lost the
CBS
sound.
cameras from 1945.
No, we hear
Right?
you.
We hear you.
We hear you. Jeff, how are you?
Oh, he can't hear us.
Oh, we lost him again.
We lost them. That's all right. Tommy's having sound and video problems. Jeff is having sound and video problems. That's okay. You know, we're not broadcast TV. We don't give a shit. That's the fun of it. But while
I
they're
really
trying
wanted to ask him about Dennis Hopper. I heard that dude's batshit crazy. And, I wanted to know if that's true.
All right, we got you back in,
I'm
Jeff. We're gonna
slutty.
try
Ooh,
to
I'm slutty.
let's see. Tommy, can you hear us? Again, I don't know what the tech issues are. It could be maybe using the phone versus using the computer, but it shouldn't. Not in today's technology.
Got no
Yeah,
sound.
well, I'm using my phone currently.
I did notice that I had to click the three dots in the corner and do open up in Chrome because for whatever reason it was like lagging on my phone.
Yeah,
But
there's
now
some
it's
issues.
on my
I mean,
phone,
I don't,
but it's
you know,
in Chrome.
I mean, listen, it's
Makes
not what do you call it? I'm using Restream. Plug for Restream.
Hello.
Send me free stuff. Hey Jeff.
Get those plugs in.
Yep. All right. So I don't want to belabor this. We're not moving this along while everybody's trying to figure it out. So Jeff is, we can't get Jeff on. We can't get Tommy on. And Eric, if you wanted to let Tommy know to just call it a day on trying to log in. There's definitely a tech issue.
Okay.
But we'll get her back around to him. We'll figure it out. And we'll have
absolutely.
another session where we bring him on. Maybe we'll do a wrestling session, just a
Sure.
wrestling jam session. All right?
Absolutely.
So, but you don't go anywhere, Steve. Eric, I wanted to, you're in the business of pop culture. You run a company called Comics and Killers Collectibles, and
I
you are immersed in the toys of our childhood.
I am a huge nerd. I've been collecting for like, sorry, my baby's losing her shit right now. I've been collecting.
We're all parents here except for Bob.
I'm sorry.
We're all parents here except for Bob. We understand.
Yeah, she's not happy because her show's not on and she's yelling at me. But but yeah, I've been collecting for 30 plus years. Comics, toys, oddities. I pretty much have 65,000 plus comic books. 16,000 movies. I mean, my collection I have everything from like Pokemon cards all the way up to life-size Creature from the Black Lagoon, all kinds of shit. Signed pops. You guys talking about Ninja Turtles? I got all of them signed. Crazy shit. I've been collecting.
What's the quintessential childhood memory toy for you?
Ooh, that's honestly anything 89 Batman related and anything Ninja Turtles related. My favorite figure was the Universal Monsters Michelangelo and the Batman Returns Batmobile with the yellow wheels where you could press the button and it split into the Bat Missile, because that fucking scene is awesome.
Yes.
Amazing. Yep. That's a good one.
Yeah. So Jeff, we got you back in, but we don't see you. So if there's a technical issue, Jeff, I would just say, we'll circle back around on another one. If you want to, I don't know if you're on your phone or your laptop. But because I definitely want to talk.
What was your guys' go-to toys? Just curious.
Yeah, no, and I mean,
I said 89 Batman, and dude down on my bottom left was like losing his shit.
Yeah, because I'm a huge 89 Batman. Because I had those toys where the Batman belt would come out and be a string that would project. It was like could project them, and the Batmobile.
Yes, sir.
It's those toys. Like, now I got a question for you, Eric. So what was the toy or collectible that started for you that made you want to like collect all these things that gave you like just nostalgia? Like, what was it that really started it for you? That you said, I want to be a collector.
Honestly, going back to my boys, the heroes on the half shell, the brothers, Splinter, Shredder, Technodrome, Krang, and Splinter.
Wow.
Oh, and the van. I had the vans. Oh, and the Ghostbusters house too. That was really awesome. The that was fantastic.
Yeah.
So what about you, Chris? What was your go-to toy? The one that started your thing. That was the one that became probably the most banged up toy that you ever had, right?
Yeah. It would have to be Polly Pocket. I think that was the only girly thing about me. The Polly Pocket. Other than torturing my brother for fucking up his G.I. Joes every time he fucked with me. But
Polly Pockets, let's go.
Polly Pocket was like, I think I still have some of this stuff, some of my Pollys. But yeah, it was my go-to. Like, that was the only girly toy about me. Like, I had the Barbies, but I wasn't really a Barbie girl. Yeah, so I would say Polly Pocket.
Did you collect Mighty Max too?
No.
That was the guy's version of Polly Pockets.
No, it was just Polly Pocket. And then I think the other one was remember that Angel, remember when I got the Fly Dancer and I hit, who was it? I hit in the face.
I know what that was. That was, you spun that, right? Or something?
I hit someone in the face in the precinct. Who
Oh,
was
yeah. Didn't that get banned or something?
It wasn't banned when I was a kid.
Because Chris hit a lieutenant in the face with it one time.
Jeff.
I was evil.
Jeff, you can hear us?
I can hear you guys now. Can you hear me?
Oh
Yes,
my
we
God.
Yeah,
can.
loud and
Oh,
clear.
yeah.
Welcome.
Jeff.
All right.
Well, just in time. I actually got to jump off in a couple minutes, guys. I got to take these rapscallions to bed. So,
All right. Well,
as
thank
parents,
you.
you all know how it goes. Thank you so much for having me, guys. I greatly appreciate it.
And let
Great.
Tommy know the tech issue is going to keep him out of
Yeah.
just because he keeps trying to log in.
Well, next time. So I'll call him now. Next time, what I'll do is I'll have him here with me, so that way he doesn't put a hole through whatever computer he's around. So
yeah, we'll do a wrestling jam session. So email me on that one.
yeah, absolutely, no problem. Thanks, guys.
Nice meeting
Thank
you,
you.
Eric.
It was
Nice
an absolute
meeting you.
pleasure. I'll see you guys in March.
See you
See
in
you
March.
tomorrow.
All right, bye.
All right. So Jeff, we finally got you in,
Yes.
and it's awesome to have you.
Good to be here. Thank you.
And thanks for jumping in here. And Don is back. So Don, throw your camera on, throw your mic on. We're going to bring you on with the quintessential effects superhero of the 20th century, Mr. Jeff Goodwin. 21st century
My
now.
God. It's such an honor to
Bro,
meet you and
this
talk
is
to you, Mr. Goodwin.
the little
So
kid
I'm
inside me is
glad.
like,
I'm particularly glad that Bob and Son are here. And again, no offense, Chris, but these guys right there, I'm aware, are the artists, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
we have one of the most famous artists here, even if people don't realize it. And we're talking Blue Velvet, Rambo 3, Scream 5, of course, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the original, the good one.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm be honest. I could not for the life of me. That new version, I was like trash. I'm done.
bro, like I literally, like, my kids never really got to see it, and I'm sitting here, they're just hearing me talk with Uncle Don about, like, because with our sponsor Ultimate Wireless, we get to work with James, and my kids were like, "Oh, but I watched Turtles." I was like, no, you watched the crackhead Turtles. Mommy saw the real turtles. Mommy saw the real turtles. So, like,
Oh, yeah.
New Year's Day, we just, like, I sat them there and made them watch this
That's
turtle.
so
And I was like,
good.
this is the real turtles, not the ones you know.
And the thing is, it's it's funny because I was just watching the whole thing about there's categories now. There's CGI, computer effects, special effects, visual effects. Like everything is now categorized. But at the end of the day, the special effects, the practical effects, the real things, the things that you could actually touch and you could feel and you could smell and you could see them. There is nothing. I don't care how sorry, Saint. I don't care how good you're at texturing shit and photorealism and all that stuff. There is nothing like the real thing. Like,
Well,
I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you, though. I'm with being a digital artist. I'm with you. Like,
Like,
go ahead, Jeff. Talk it up.
oh, yeah.
is the visual better when it's the real, practical thing. But the thing that really I think helps greatly is when you have the physical real thing there.
man.
Oh no!
Oh,
It's
damn!
about, you're about to hear.
Movie.
You're about to hear. You're about to hear the key of life, and it cuts out. Like, what is going on?
Suspense. Oh, wow.
Oh,
Wow.
holy grail right there.
Are we back?
We hear you. We don't see.
We hear you, but we can't see you.
Oh, let's see here.
It's all right. Just
Let's
keep
see.
talking.
Okay,
Just
so long as we can hear you. So long as we can hear you at this
We
point.
can
I'm
hear
okay
you.
with
Okay, I don't know what's going on. It just keeps popping in and out. But what I was getting at is when you have the physical thing, how much that helps the actors,
that.
because
100%.
it makes it more real for them. So then on screen for the audiences, it becomes more real. It just helps the actors more when you have the real thing than reacting to a green screen.
Yeah. Well, you see
Yeah.
in some of those behind the
100%.
scenes now, they just have some dude in a blue screen costume with targets on
Yeah, the
it, or a
mocap.
green screen costume trying to talk to the other people. It's,
Or a broomstick with something on the end of it. It's just
yeah,
Yeah.
the
terrible.
broomstick. Hey,
I was going
Tommy.
to say,
So I
whenever
don't
I
know.
build any costumes, I don't 3D print anything. I actually build it all by hand because I have the appreciation for sculpting and etc. So this
So
was sculpted by hand.
1 second, real quick. Tommy, can you hear me? Tommy, if you can you hear me, Tommy? Just nod your head if you can. Or,
I don't think
I
he
don't know.
hears you.
I don't think he hears us.
Does you got his
All right.
volume up?
I don't know.
He's just saying.
Oh
It
man.
is
Just
what
so
it
you
is.
guys know, the volume went out on me. I couldn't hear you guys at all.
Yeah. So it's
before,
definitely a signal thing because I pay for like absurdly ridiculous internet for the business in my house, which I'm always complaining over, but never have an issue with my internet.
Right.
So it's definitely, between other people's internet and technology, it's always an issue. But anyway, going back to that holy grail of having the real practical pieces there, and like you said, Bob, you had you just showed us this mask. Everything's made by hand. This is the thing that is missing. I mean, granted, technology has allowed a lot of aspiring filmmakers to create films that they would not have
lost all
otherwise.
volume and
Would not have been able to
don't know
otherwise
what's going
do.
on.
And
I can't hear you
we can
guys
hear
now.
you, but there's a lot of static. Okay.
Oh man.
We're gonna have to get handlers for these guys.
Yeah, seriously, we're gonna have to get tech handlers for these guys. We just lost them. Anyway.
We're talking to legends here. We can't even
I have
hear like
you,
the
you
knowledge.
you don't understand.
Listen,
As an artist, I legit have a million questions for him. Like,
Same. Yeah.
Listen, I like I draw, I paint, but I'm so conscious with putting my work out there. Like I can't do it. So like artists like these, like that's why like, meeting the Bob and my god brother, I like support them on everything. He'll like hit me up, what do you think of this, and I'll give him my input. But it's art is so important, especially like when it comes back to like sculpting and putting these pieces together, and not doing, once again, no offense to you, Saint, I love you to death. I'll burn down the whole city for this man, but like putting paint to palette or sculpting something and making it's like embracing and bringing life into something. And I was, my first degree is actually in film and editing and stuff like that, and going back and seeing, I honestly prefer when they put those costumes on the actors. And like it's like a whole different feel, and it's just like, oh my god. And now it's like, okay, just put on the suit and run around.
Yeah.
so I just gotta say though, because I gotta defend myself a little bit
You
here.
got
I get it.
Jeff back.
I'm the digital guy here, but let me tell you something. When it comes to movies, when it comes to effects, I love the practical stuff.
Yeah, no, the
like what I
practical
do, what I love to do, and what I enjoy doing is creating like the posters for the movies to come see these movies that are made with practical effects. That's stuff I love to do. You know what I mean? To enhance that. But I don't. I'm with Eric in the sense of I don't like overly CGI, overly whatever it is that they're using now for movies. It takes the soul out of it. It does. It takes the soul out of it. I don't like it. Stuff like what Jeff does. Like, you need to have those kind of things. It's not just for visual, but it helps, like he said, the actors get into full character to feel like they're immersed in that world. And it makes more sense. It just makes more sense.
The turtles wouldn't have been the turtles without him. Like, Jack Nicholson's Joker wouldn't have been Jack if he didn't have that.
No, I mean,
Heath Ledger wouldn't have been able to embrace his Joker without these things. And it comes down to this. Now we see films, and I think Saint said it best. They seem semi-lifeless because it's just a repertoire of over and over CGI and blue screen.
Yeah.
And listen, I'm all for it, but it doesn't sit the same. Like seeing the original Avatar versus the new one, it's it's like it
Well,
doesn't
you
feel
know,
the same.
and I mean, Jeff, I don't know if you can hear us. We can't hear you or see you, but you know, I we're gonna have to redo this. Like Chris said, we're gonna have to get you guys some handlers and get your tech up to date. Whatever we got to do here.
Yeah, come on,
Yeah,
this
'cause-
man is an icon, a legend. Like
No,
I
like, come on.
I don't fangirl. I don't. And Don could tell you, I do not like Khan. I got to meet Rikishi and Mankind and Booker T, and Don was like slowly like that was my childhood, you know. And I'm just like nonchalant, but like when
Well,
I
you
see
know,
like artists like this, it's just like oh my
That's it.
god, it's
That's it.
oh my god, this man created my childhood. I probably would have freaking fangirl like crazy the way Don did with Winnie if I met Stan Lee. You know, like I would lose my shit. But
Yeah, I mean, you're
artists are
hitting the
so important.
you're hitting the beat. You're hitting the nail on the head there. Yes, the actors, the people who portray you know, that's what they do. But you know, there's really no world for them without that crew in the background, without the special
Exactly.
effects artist, the hair stylist, the makeup artist, the set dresser, all that stuff. And I mean, I don't want to dash like a listeners or watchers, you know, dreams. But you know what? I mean, I'm going to be real here, and I'm about to get slapped in the face by every Swiftie on the planet. Taylor Swift is going to suck without her sound people. Her stage shows are going to suck without the stage designers. You know what I mean? Her clothes are going to be trash if she didn't like. Taylor Swift might be a singer, but without all the rest of that, without those background people, without all that tech, without all that genius of creative genius, she's just another all-American looking girl who's pretty kind of tall. You know, I mean, you know, it is what it is because honestly, you know, I've heard better singers. Let's be real here. So, you know, it's just, you know, and the same goes for acting, right? Okay, Jeff, we see if we get you back here, right? So let's try again.
It's
Jeff.
There we go.
Hey,
we hear you.
So we were just geeking out because, you know, we were talking about how you guys and, you know, you could have an actor, you could have a singer, but it's all that stuff that's happening in the background, practical effects, hair, makeup, lighting, this, that, the other thing. You know what I mean? So
well, there was a very interesting when all these a few years back when all the strikes were happening with the SAG writers and DGA all on strike at the same time, and it just, you know, crippled all of us. My sweet woman was pointed out there was a great political cartoon that showed the actors standing up, and beneath them, you know, like two actors standing up, and beneath them there were hundreds of people holding them up as far as the crew.
Accurate.
It's the truth.
Completely accurate.
Yes, exactly.
It's the truth.
Yeah. So I mean, that's the way it is. And
Well,
people don't see it.
So I'm going to dial back towards pop culture. I'm not going to jump on TMNT right now just yet, but I think something is a fantastic movie, Blue Velvet. You were part of that, right?
Yeah, and there's David right there. Yep.
Oh man.
And it was a year ago yesterday that we lost him. Yep.
So I don't think people understand. Like, they watch a movie like that, and you know, remember when we talk about practical effects, most people think prosthetics, explosions, blood, guns, boom, bang, ba ba ba. But there's a whole world out there that has still got practical effects in it. They're, you know, subtle things like, you know, slap in the face that can lead to a little bloody nose and things like that. So, you know, tell us a little bit about, you know, your career.
Well, I mean, the thing about the makeup and the effects, what got me into it is I always loved movies since I was a kid. I knew what I wanted to do since I was probably like 6 years old.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
We're here. You know.
Yep.
Yep. There.
My feelings.
Are we back? I don't know what's going on.
We hear you.
I got
This is brutal.
This is so brutal, man.
Like right when he's about to get to the
Torture.
gold.
I'm wondering if he's getting like a phone call or a notification or something that might be interfering with it. But,
I
yeah.
know.
Oh
Right
man.
when we're about to get to the gold. There he is.
Oh, wait. Do we got it?
We got it.
Listen,
Oh,
when this man comes back on, just let him cook. Just let him cook.
Right.
yeah. Let him talk. Don't say a word.
Yeah.
Folks, this is not my setup. It's their broken phone. Sorry.
You know.
We're just gonna have to get. It's men, like, it's the writers, it's the producers, it's these makeup artists, it's these costume designers,
Yeah.
writers that actually perform, like Dogma. That's another amazing piece that people slept on, and it's like I like. We're getting feedback.
Yeah.
It comes down to, like, people not appreciating what goes into something, and especially, like, when people see certain things in pop culture that at the time it came out was taboo, but now they see it and they're like, oh my god, what did I miss out on?
A lot.
It's like that concept, and I'm tongue tied right now because, like, I want to hear what Jeff has to say, but it comes back, like, full circle without
But
those individuals. And I think him bringing up the news article is these actors, like, we love our actors, we love how they portray our characters, but without them, they will be nothing. Just them being able to recreate these characters and say a bunch of lines. No offense to my actors, but it's people like Jeff that bring our childhood to life. The characters we seen,
I mean,
the
talking about that, imagine now, Bob, I'm sure you're with me. As a creative, sometimes we have to tap into things to build worlds, right? Could you imagine? You strip away all the digital, all the CGI, all of what they had to dial into to make these actors and these movies and shine, to creatively do things from
hours of
scratch.
work.
What their inspiration comes from. Talking about pop culture now, like what their inspiration draws from those time periods too.
Yeah.
Well, let's look at Jeff. We can't hear you. Can you hear us? Are you just being patient? Let us finish talking. Damn.
This is really
It's killing me. So
breaking my heart.
we're all going to be sitting at Jeff's table at the event, right? Just sitting,
with
saying,
like
finish that
1,000
thought.
questions, like
Finish that thought.
Like,
we'll have
right
to do
now,
one of these. We'll have to do one of these there.
Yeah,
do a live,
exactly.
do
We're
a
gonna
live
have
from
to
Pop.
do one of these there. Like, you don't understand. Like, I was going to originally do the cosplay for 90s Con, but I was like, once I found out I knew James was going to be at Atlantic City, but when I found out he was going to be there, I was like, no, I'm pushing that cosplay to Atlantic City. And I'm like literally in the process of making it. My son's helping me with 3D printing. Like, I am like trying to embody what he create and my take on it.
Yeah.
But like, just to be around him, it like I says, I don't fangirl, but I fangirl for artists like him.
That's the same
like
thing.
Directors.
I'm fanboying over here with Saints work. Like, I mean, like, know, and I dive into a lot of the tech side because, I run Adobe, I run, Premiere and AE, I run the whole suite, plus I do all the handwork. So I got a display that we're designing for Popped, right? So I literally made digital collage and then I ripped it all up and made hand collage. You know what I mean? So it's like, and then everything I'm making is hand designed, you know, but I use the computer to get so I could create my
Well,
stereo optic red blue 3D. So you got to put on your 3D glasses. You know what I mean? To see
well,
things.
if you ever need any help, Eric, let me know.
Yeah, no, we'll definitely talk. We'll definitely talk.
And so what? See, Saint is very humble about his work, so that's where I come in and I get to brag about him. If you do not know Saint's work the way a lot of his fans do, he also has a lot of little hidden things in there that you're supposed to find. He's a master of what he does.
You know what, Don? What we're gonna do? I think this came up because I also run business development events, particularly some, you know, to help small businesses grow and access resources. And I was approached about a little over half a year ago, maybe 8 months ago, by a graphic designer. And they said, you should have an event that helps the graphic design community and the artist community find resources. And I'm like, absolutely. But the problem is, you know, being on that side of the business development side and seeing how the business community actually does or does not show up to events. And I realized I'd be throwing good money after bad, you know. But I've been toying around with this idea of having a fan event, but then in that fan event, actually having a whole segment for our artist vendors to be able to go to classes, business classes during the event, before the event after. So I think that would be something I would love to see us pull together is a artist fan event that literally is a live sort of because I have the space, is a live, you know, 10 by 10 booths. Every artist gets a gallery, special effects artists, digital artists, painters, comic book artists to display their work. And, you know, maybe the day before, instead of me doing a big party, I have a big, just, you know, bring all my resource partners to the table for those artists that morning, you know, that night before or something like that.
I think that would be a great idea.
Because I think that it would be an honor to a lot of people, I think, too, to have, if we could bring not just the business resources, but speakers like Jeff or like Saint himself to speak to other artists. And not that typical, because here's the one thing. I hate that typical shit. Guy comes in, he's like, hey, yeah, I'm world famous, blah, blah, blah. Here, buy my book if you want to know my secret. Hate that shit. I don't allow it in any of my classrooms. Not at all. Hate that shit, but I see it. So I would love to put together something where we are definitively fusing the business education with the fan base community and creating like a massive gallery event.
Okay.
You know, 60 vendor booths, 60 display centers for 60 artists to fill a room and let people come and see the work. And then also give them the business support, the education, the merchandising education. Give it to them.
Right. Yeah.
I think we should put
I think that would be amazing. That would be an honor to help put that together, because we're all about trying to help inform our community and share resources. The one thing that we really frown upon is gatekeeping. There's already been so many gates put in front of us. Why are we doing that with our own people? So if we have the resources and we can share, and a lot of this stuff is actually pretty easy once you learn how to do it. But you have to learn how to do it. If you don't know what button, what do you mean 3 buttons? Like the 3 dots? Like obviously for us who know it, but you know, people who don't utilize this stuff all the time, you know, for some people it might be their first time doing this, but they have a career of doing amazing things. And that's like kind of like unfortunate, because tech has done that and it constantly changes.
Tech has stripped so much out of us.
Right.
But I mean, to Jeff and you know, that touch, that feel, that analog, right? Which is so important. And Jeff, you've seen it yourself. You've been in the community. You know, I would argue in some cases that the creativity is so leached out of people because of technology in a lot of ways.
Is the mic working now? Can you hear me?
We hear it. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the whole, like you guys have, unfortunately with the technical glitches, I've been in and out, but some of the stuff you were picking up on as far as how kind of the digital side and the CG stuff is kind of soulless. I agree with that. But I mean, with art, just to back up a little bit, you guys were talking about art. To me, there is no right or wrong with art, and that's one of the beautiful things about it. So it's all a matter of personal taste or preference, or art. There is no right or wrong. So you just need to have fun with it and play with it and do it.
Well, I mean, again, there's
I love
something.
this
Look,
fence.
I love how you can world build, in a film. I think it's great. Technology has taken it so far, but man, there is something to be said for those matte paintings, those matte painters.
Oh, mass
Oh.
were fantastic. Albert Whitlock, great matte painter for glass paint, beautiful work. I mean, Emilio Ruiz, hanging miniatures and forced perspective miniatures and stuff like that. That's a lot of art that was so much better than the stuff they're doing today. It was
Well,
Ray
they
Harry-
Ray
Ray Harry-
Harryhausen.
the stuff that man worked by himself. He didn't have a crew. He did it all with those hands by himself. I would much rather watch one of his films than the Avatar, or any of the CG crap today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's fun, it's interesting because I would say I was probably this many years old when I realized how many films I watched were glass mats. Like, I was just like, wait, what? Wait, and I had seen some of the older stuff, and whatnot, and Star Wars, but then, up and through the 80s, there was still glass mat painting going on. And I was just like blown away. And I know the Lord of the Rings did a lot with forced perspective. The original,
They did, but the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit, they CG'd over everything afterwards. So
Oh, they CG'd
Yeah.
everything afterwards.
it doesn't much
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah.
I think like when they go from doing what created film to be what it is, and like I said, my first degree is in broadcasting and technology and stuff like that, and you have to do a historical background to build up to what we've become, and you see what these map designers and these set directors and makeup artists and special effects artists go through to create this whole other world in a soundstage.
Yeah.
And you actually think it's a world. It's like, holy shit. And now I call it the lazy way now. Like CGI is lazy.
Well, here's a fun one for you. This made us all laugh when it was happening. I did a short-lived. I say short-lived. We didn't actually get to finish even the first season. People aren't even aware of this one. We did Swamp Thing for DC.
Oh yeah, Swamp Thing. Mm-hmm.
TV series. It just was
I
happening
remember that.
5 years ago, I guess it was now.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, we were supposed to do 13 episodes in the first season. We pitched it 6 seasons. We were on episode 10 out of 13 when the producers came on set one evening and said, yeah, guys, we're going to finish this episode and we're shutting it down. We didn't get to finish the first season. But backing that show, that swamp, and all those sets was built on a soundstage. It was incredible.
Wow.
Walking on
No.
the stage was incredible. The soundstage was so big and the swamp was so big. We had 8 at one point. We had 8 real boats on set, on stage
That's
working.
massive. Wow.
And
Yeah, because it was
that
tons of
cost so
swamp
much-
scenes there.
It cost so much money to build that set, and the producers, one of them was a really old, good friend of mine. We've done many films together in the years, and he came to the set and he goes, "You're gonna love this, Jeff." He goes, "I just got off the phone from the executives who were bitching me out, saying, when are we going to see dailies from this set that costs so much money?" And Darren said, "You've been watching dailies." I said, "Yeah, but it always sees the swamp stuff." He goes, "That's the set."
Wow. That's
That's a damn
amazing. though.
TV show.
So good that they
Wow.
weren't aware that it was a set. I mean, it was beautiful. I mean, that kind of stuff is so magical, and that's the part I used to love too, especially doing a period piece. I've done a lot of like Last of the Mohicans, War and Peace, Ang Lee's Ride with the Devil, which is a beautiful movie. when you do a period piece, you're, like you said, creating a world then, and for the actors to play. And if that world's not real, again, that affects the actors, So that's something I really used to enjoy was, like you said, creating that world for the actors to play in.
Well, I think the thing too is, changing over ultimately from film to digital also has an impact because your financial burden has changed because, today an actor can say, I need to do 17 different takes with this puppet on a stick. You know what I mean?
Let me interject this. I just retired. Okay. I did this for 5 decades. And digital has, I like to say it because I used to teach a lot and I still like to teach, but I like to tell the younger people digital filmmaking has eroded the discipline of filmmaking.
Yeah.
Lazy
Now,
way.
to follow this, okay, when it was filmed and they rolled that camera and it filmed rolling through that camera, that's money. So everything that's in front of that camera has to be right first time and every time because that's money. Okay. Now it's zeros and ones running through that camera. It's a digital card, which costs hardly anything. You can shoot all day on a digital card. It costs nothing. But the problem is we're now working with a whole generation of DPs and directors who have never, ever, ever touched pellicula film ever in their life. So now the new breed does something, and you'll see this as soon as I say this. You'll I've seen that now in movies and television all the time, and continuity doesn't exist out the window. Yep. And I'll tell you why. This new breed of directors will roll. Let's say we're doing a dinner scene. We're all right here. We're doing a dinner scene. Okay. The director will roll the camera, and then they won't cut. They'll do the take after take after take without cutting. The crew can't do their job. We can't come in and touch up. You can't reset the props. You can't reset the background. The ADs used to do background crosses. So nothing matches anymore. That you push the button on the camera and you hope for the best in the editing room. It won't cut together. It doesn't. You watch background now and they will disappear out of shots now because you can't cut it together. It doesn't match. It's not filmmaking.
There's no magic. There's no soul.
Yeah.
And it also affects the storytelling, right? Because it's like you're immersed in this world, and then something kind of interrupts your immersion into that world because it doesn't match. It's not. So it kind of messes. Oh man!
See this right here.
Our industry has changed so drastically. It used to be, and we're talking about Lynch, okay, just a little while ago. Okay, Lynch handpicked every single department head on his crew. Okay, I might not meet the director now until the first day of shooting.
So you see this
here? I mean,
see this poster behind me? This poster behind me, that's our teaser poster for the film that we're putting in. We just currently signed Steve Barton as our producer. I'm executive producing that. Tina Kraus wrote that. So, little plug, that's coming up. We're working on that. We're in pre-production now. But here's the thing. I'm sitting here doing the budget. And Tina and I are going down the budget. And, there's things on that. You know these budgets. If you've ever seen a film budget, there's a lot of little shit on there. You could be like, yeah, I don't need this because I'm not a studio. You know what I mean? But as I'm going down the list, I looked at Tina and I'm sitting there and I'm like, continuity director. We are having a fucking continuity director. We're having somebody to follow continuity. I don't care that we're shooting on digital. We have, you can't, because most of the shit now is really not good. Like that's out there, it's really bad. And continuity impacts pacing, right? Pacing is huge. Right. If you have a film that is a slow burn because it's supposed to be a slow burn, that's fine. But if your film is supposed to be paced a certain way, it's a slow burn because you have shitty continuity and plot holes.
No, exactly. And that's what the script supervisor not only is doing the continuity, the script supervisor is taking care of the pacing and making sure the timing and everything. Yeah, that's got to have a script supervisor. You gotta.
And
Yep.
without that continuity, it makes it difficult for the editors, especially like when sets are not being reset and they're cutting and doing the frames and going in from that super extreme close up to the half close up and breaking these things down. Nothing is matching up. So when you're doing those cuts and the background is disturbed or something's off with makeup, everyone's gonna be like, literally, what the fuck? Like when I see things like because I've done it, I see when editors are not editing things smoothly because there is no more continuity. There's no
Yeah.
resetting a frame. There's no touch ups, and I'm catching it, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Not everything could
But
be a
like
jump
now,
cut.
I can't. I like sometimes I just people are like, oh, did you see this? And I'm like.
Those editors must have the highest blood pressure ever.
Yeah.
Catch your heart attack. Like, how am I going to make this work?
Well, it's funny because I mean, we did some test footage for the film, and it was just test footage. We weren't trying to make a movie, right? We were just shooting scenes, a few scenes, playing around with it, trying to figure out what we want to do. So now I'm sitting here cutting all this test footage to create sort of this timeline, right? And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, wow, I wish we had a continuity director for the test footage because I know we were just doing test footage, but this editing really fucking sucks. And I'm calling Tina and I'm like, I hate you. I hate you.
It happens, but I have a question, for Jeff. Like I said, I don't fangirl, but I fangirl for artists and creators like Jeff. If you put Tim Burton in front of me, I'm gonna fangirl. If you put Guillermo del Toro, all these people that created certain things in a certain way. My question is, when you were creating the Turtles, what was your muse? Like, how did you come about making these original Turtles that we all love, and like that it's to the point we can't accept what they've changed?
Well, I mean, let's back up. I didn't create the turtles.
No, I'm talking about when you were doing all the makeup and everything in the special.
Well, yeah, but I just want to give credit to where credit's due. I didn't make the suits. Jim Henson, who's probably one of the only true geniuses I ever worked with,
Absolutely.
made the suits. And poor Jim was, oh man, this kills me. Jim died basically a week after we finished the film from walking pneumonia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But what I did was help bring those suits to life. We painted the suits, and Steve Barron, the director, who I love, that's why the first film, you guys like the first film, as you know, is darker and grittier and more real than any of the other films done after that.
Yeah.
Well, Steve, the director, Steve wanted it to be, grounded in reality, and I think that makes it work. I mean, Judith Hogue and I did a thing together a few years ago where we did a screening of the film at one of the locations and did a Q&A with everybody. And I gave credit to Judith that night, and it's true. I mean, her performance, because she makes those turtles come alive, and just with her performance as well, because they're real to her on screen, So getting back to what Steve was doing as far as the look of it, we painted the turtles and keeping them more grounded instead of the whole comic book look that they later had in the other films. And so if you noticed in the very first film, and the NECA Toys has it, and I'm so glad of that now, Raphael has a little scar on his cheek because Steve Barron thought it was funny that I had done Rambo. So he actually had me add a real Rambo scar.
I thought it was there because I swear to God, since I was a kid and seen this movie, I thought Raphael only had that scar. And now I just found something out because he was hurt as a baby turtle or something. And now I'm finding out it's because it was paying homage to you doing Rambo.
So I gotta ask this question because it's gonna drive me nuts if I don't get it out. And if you want to move on from Turtles, we can, but I have to ask. Jeff, how hard and horrible was it to maintain? Because I'm sure with them moving around, there had to be repairs and repaints and stuff like that, especially with the texturing that you did on the suits and stuff like that. How difficult was that?
Constant care and upkeep. Turtles was actually a really low budget movie, and we were shooting 2 units simultaneously the entire time.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
those actors in the suits and the stunt people, I cannot give enough credit to those guys. They went through hell. They really did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
Also, the nunchucks, to do those nunchucks with 3 fingers.
3 fingers. Yes.
You know?
And they couldn't really see either, right? They couldn't really see what they were doing.
Yeah. So it was a labor of love by everybody involved, to be honest. The painting of the suits was, and the upkeep, like you said, was so when Steve Barron also wanted the turtles to be bruised in the fighting. Don't do it in any other movies, but we did in the first film. Well, I thought the day that Steve said that, though, in one of the early pre-production meetings with Jim Henson, I thought Jim Henson's head was going to explode, because that meant repainting the suits every damn time, you know. And so Jim had freaked out, and I said, wait a second. I said, let me think about this. And so I got back to him like the next day, and I said, I did some tests, and I said, I'm going to do the bruising with watercolors, so that way we could just
Wash right off.
Yeah, that's smart.
Affect the suits. And so Jim loved me after that, because I saved repaint the suits every damn time.
So listen, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to, Jeff, I'm going to give you this camera, right? 8mm, make you make a movie on it. It's a little wind up 8mm. We'll get some 8mm film, and we'll go real old school.
But that will be the best, because there'll be life and soul into the film.
It'll be the best. But, let me ask you a question, because you've been around the film era.
Well, wait a second. The flashback stuff in Turtles, where you see the Shredder getting his scars and stuff. We actually shot that great.
You shot that what?
We shot that Super 8. We shot all the old flashbacks on Super 8 to give it that look.
No shit.
No way.
The funniest picture of it, I still got it. I laughed my ass off when I walked on the stage, and there's a Super 8 camera mounted on a God,
that's amazing.
And camera set up in a dolly on it with a Super 8 camera on it. I'm like, what the heck? It was hilarious, but it looks great.
It looks
great. Amazing.
Well, I mean, again, not to like try to plug my own stuff, but I'm plug my own stuff. So this film that we're working on, at the end of the film, we have a sequence that's going to be in it because we already have the follow-up film set up, where we're shooting that end sequence on Super 8. Because it's kind of like there's going to be like a home. The idea is to make it a quote look like a home movie. So instead of making it look like a home movie in post, we're going to just do it straight up.
Exactly. Yeah, it's better.
Yeah. Yeah. So I wanted to ask you a question, because we're talking about Turtles a lot, but you were on Rambo 3.
Yeah.
All right. So listen, the Rambo franchise is pretty much as big as the Turtles franchise, and we know Sylvester Stallone is a franchise all his own. So what was it like to work in that? Because I mean, was that backlot? Was that location shoot?
That was all location. In fact, that we started shooting Rambo. I did Rambo 3. We started shooting Rambo 3 in 1987. We finished in 1988. I went completely around the world picture. We shot in Thailand, Israel, Egypt, California, Arizona.
Wow.
And people aren't. Hollywood Reporter did a whole expose right at the end of us shooting that film, because it was quite notorious at the time, because people don't realize this nowadays. But Rambo 3, believe it or not, for the time period, was the most expensive movie made in history.
Really?
No film prior to that had cost over $40 million to make. Rambo 3 came in $63 million to make.
63 million. Wow.
But to me, you see it on the screen. because we did crazy stuff in that film, and it's on the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's before CG. None of that.
Yeah.
Everything
Yeah.
Yeah.
he had to do. And I don't know if you really know the film that well, but that whole sequence in the film
My
where
dad's a big fan of Rambo. Who's
there's-
Sylvester Stallone, period.
does the whole operation on himself, removing the wooden splinter.
Yeah.
I wrote that scene. I do that a lot. I wrote because Stallone would rewrite the script every day. I'm not joking about this. Okay. We would go in and he would rewrite every day. So we never knew going into it what we were going to do that day, basically. But the problem was he wanted something that was going to outdo the first film where he had sewed up his own arm, which was a nice little effect, but I mean, it's simple. And so I came up with this whole idea for this scene, and I pitched it to Stallone, and Stallone loved it and said, let's do it. Producers got wind of it and says, no. Because like I said, that was before CG. So everything we was going to do would be practical. And they said, you're Ernest Stallone, you can't do it. He's worth too much money. You can't, blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, let me test it. I tested it on myself. I always do that. I test it on myself first to make sure it's safe, but also so that I can tell the actor exactly what they're going to experience because I experienced it.
Yeah.
So we did it and tested it, worked fine. And Stallone was all on board for it. And we did that whole sequence in multiple cameras in one take.
Wow.
One take. Wow.
That was the scene with the gunpowder, right?
Yeah.
How the heck did you pull that off without hurting the actor? You know what?
He said he tested it himself first.
I know. I mean, in the sense of how.
1 minute.
Oh yes.
Show and tell.
Because think about it, you're dealing with gunpowder, you're putting it on an actor, like it has to ignite, right? So there has to be like a layer of protection between the effect and the actor. Oh, I can't wait for this. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
I keep everything.
Oh my
god.
This is the actual piece. The actual piece that he was wearing. This is the magic right here. There's a skin casing that went over this to blend it into Stallone's side. Okay, but you see this channel here?
Yeah.
For the blood tubing here. Okay, but in that channel fit the wooden splinter, which is the wooden splinter here.
Mm-hmm.
So that wooden splinter fit into that channel. Then you got the skin casing over this, so it all blends into him. All right. Now the trick of this is, and all the stuff that I do really is, okay. It's sleight of hand in a way. It's a magic trick.
Hold on.
Uh-oh. I don't.
Whoop.
Okay, there you go. So I was explaining to Stallone, when you pull this out, okay, he pushes his finger in this hole here and starts pushing that out. Okay. I said, when you pull it out, you got to twist it slightly because all the cameras that we had, like I said, we did in one take with multiple cameras. So I had to see the angle of all the cameras. So when you pull it out, I said, twist it slightly so that you don't see, it looks like it's straight piece of wood and you don't see that. You see what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Little perspective magic happening there. Movement.
Wow.
When he pulls it out, I said, twist it just slightly so you only see it being straight and not that.
Yeah.
So where does the gunpowder come in?
Gunpowder, here's the bullet that he used here.
Here's the bullet.
God.
That's the actual bullet casing and the bullet head there that he actually used. So he takes the knife and then he puts the gunpowder on and does it. Okay, the gunpowder that we used was a special, it's not gunpowder, obviously. It's basically a flash powder. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, it has to be a flash powder.
Special. Tommy Fisher was the physical effects and pyro guy. Tommy and I did a lot of pictures together. He was brilliant. He's passed away now, unfortunately. But Tommy Fisher got me some great flash powder.
Oh, don't do this to me.
That was really just spectacular and dissipates just that quick. So there's no heat, no nothing. It didn't hurt. You didn't feel
Brilliant.
it. Looked brilliant, but you don't.
Brilliant.
It's nothing. Yeah. And
Wow.
in fact, if piece here, you see all that dark black stuff there.
Yeah.
That's what's left of that powder.
That's amazing.
That's
Oh
wild.
man,
This
Jeff, thank you so much for that.
37
Thank you for
years
that.
Right.
old.
That is so cool.
37 years old, bro.
He wins the show and tell.
Thank you for that. Thank you
Yeah.
for that. That was
Wow.
No problem.
So, yeah, I mean, it's so. Jeff, what was that one quintessential thing that sent you on your path to film?
For me, when
And
I
effects?
love movies and horror films, especially when I was a kid, because of shock theater late at night on Saturday night, TV. But for me, it was when my father took me to see. I joked that I grew up in a drive-in theater because my parents were so young that we used to go to the drive-in all the time, and some of my first memories were movies, actually. But when my dad took me to see the Planet of the Apes, the original Planet of the Apes theater in 1968, that was it for me. As soon as I saw the first gorilla on horseback come on screen, it's like, that's what I want to do. That's it. That's was focused.
Wow.
So, what do you think? What do you think was is a quintessential pop culture moment in film history or in history in general that just has that impact and resonates across the country and generations?
It depends on your age. Because it does. It changes.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Sure.
I kind of like, I don't want to disagree with him because I'm speaking to like an OG here, but I'm probably like the second youngest here. I think Bob is the youngest here, and then it's probably me, and then it levels up. But I don't know, maybe it was because of my studies and my love for film, and being that my parents are older and I had to see these, like Rambo 3 came out like the year after I was born. He was filming when I was born, but I saw it. My dad made me sit down and watch because my dad is a big Rambo fan. Like,
oh yeah, he is.
Anything Sylvester Stallone, my father, like him, it was Sylvester Stallone. Anything Bruce Lee, what is the other dude?
Schwarzenegger.
Ponytail.
Seagal?
Steven Seagal. Like he was that, and like, Police Academy, those were my dad's things, and like you had to sit down with them, and seeing these films, and like at a point when he's like turning and like showing how he had to teach Stallone how to take the stick out, like I flashed back to that scene and I just kind of cringed because when I was little and I was seeing that, I was like, oh shit, you understand? And now, even now, so I prefer older films. Like I'm not gonna say I love the Marvel movies and everything they've done because they're bringing our comic books to life.
Yeah.
But I will choose sitting down watching Ninja Turtles or Rambo or films like that where it was sound stages and everything was built than today's movie.
Well,
like even as a little kid, I still prefer the older movies.
I did another one, which was first. I did the original Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
With Leguizamo?
Yeah. Listen, Jeff, I'm not going to hold that against you, but we're going to have a talk.
It's not cult following now, and it was the first as far as it was the first video game movies, and so
there was no game movies.
It definitely was a risk at a time when nobody was really buying. So kudos to you for working on it and for them to taking the risk to do it.
Yeah.
Opened
absolutely.
the doors for a lot.
I mean, yeah, it opened the doors, right? It opened the doors. So
because they just said we can do better.
Yeah.
this is the thing. It's like he helped create this history of like now that they're turning these video games into film. Like, for like I've been like holding it deep inside. Saint just created for Amazon Prime, correct? God of War, one of my favorite games. He created the poster for it. And to see like one of my favorite games that like I am like a die-hard fan of come alive, and then him be a part of it's amazing. But it's come a long way. And if it wasn't for Jeff being a part of the original Super Mario Brothers that we all kind of don't talk about, we
Well,
wouldn't have none
well,
of
I'm not gonna lie.
War.
I will watch the original Super Mario Brothers over that shitty CG movie they just came out with. I'm not gonna lie.
Listen,
Facts.
I can't complain. It's cute. You gotta love Jack Black for that Peaches song. Listen, it's on my playlist.
But like, there's something to be said about now. Jeff, correct me if I'm wrong here, okay? But you did work on the Lost Boys, correct?
Mhm.
No, not the
Not that one.
No, we were actually, and this is glad you brought this up because this is a sad project to me. We were actually doing a reboot of Lost Boys for television. And
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You were going to work on that, no?
we started it. And when we first got approached by it, at first I was like, do we really need another Lost Boys? But then when they gave us the script was quite good. Okay. And they changed it up as far as everything. And I love the cast. And it was a couple Frankie Faison was in it, who Frankie and I have done so many films together. And we were having a blast. We actually started shooting it and everything was going great. And then this little thing happened that you probably remember called COVID, and everything shut down. And so production shut down, and it was never picked back up again.
That's a
So
shame. 'cause
that was going to be part of the question I was going to ask you, because I know, because I do follow your career, and I did see that you were attached to that. Like, how much did that bum you out that you didn't really get to go in? Because I'm a big fan of the original Lost Boys, right? And I would have loved to have seen what you would have done to that, especially with that full frontal makeup and how the original. I wanted to see how they were either going to improve it or like do something different. Like, how much did that bum you out that you didn't really get to touch it like that?
It was a shame because we were just getting started. Like I said, we just started shooting and we were just starting to make the stuff, and the teeth were looking beautiful. And I mean, it was a shame. It really was a shame.
It is a shame.
Because like I said, at first we weren't excited about it because it's like, do we really? But then the scripts came in and the scripts were good. And like I said, they changed it up enough that it was like really interesting and really good. I love the cast and how the there too. And so it's a shame that it didn't get big. We didn't finish.
I would
But
have
see,
loved to have seen what you would have did with that.
But see, that's the shame part. Here's what the real shame is. The people who are up at the top, who are quote unquote looking at the data or looking at the bank or looking at whatever, they're either, if they are creative, they're leaving the creative hats outside the door. If they're not creative, they're literally doing their job of stifling opportunity and creativity. And that's the sad thing, is because here's Swamp Things, here's Lost Boys, you know what I mean? Which, again, you have this stellar career. Quite frankly, I think like we've missed out, on at least a decade worth of your work with those cancellations. You know what I mean? It's like, what, damn it, it would have been nice if you didn't retire. Hint, wink.
Now, my last film, which I consider my last film, although a couple have come out since that were made before, but my last film really was Black Phone.
Yeah, Black Phone was a shit, though. I mean, let's just be real here. That was a good film.
First one. I didn't do the
I
second.
haven't seen the second one yet. No.
I know
racist,
Don
so-
has a question, but after Don gets his question in, I have a really big question for you.
Okay, and then we're going to be wrapping it up in like 12 minutes.
Right. So it's almost like a pivot from Saint's question. Was there a project that you worked on that like you just loved? They gave you like creative freedom, like it was just like one of these projects that you put a lot of you into it, and might be talked about, might not, something.
I try to put something in. I try to bring something to the table on every project, and I think that's important. And I think more people should do that. You can make suggestions. It doesn't always have to be accepted or used, but you can make suggestions. And 9 times out of 10, when I do, it's in the movie. Like I said, I actually write in films. My favorite, I have 3 films that are my favorites. Blue Velvet is the top because of Lynch, because he did something which you hit on just now. He gave me total freedom to do what I wanted. You don't get that. That's really
right.
There's no descriptions. You guys read scripts. In scripts, usually there's no descriptions of anything really. And in Blue Velvet, I was the 5th person to ever even receive the script, which blew me away. I just recently found all my old scripts and stuff, and I saw that my script was number 5. So there's no descriptions of anybody in it. So he let me do what I wanted. So, for example, like the character that Dean Stockwell played of Ben, I came up with that whole look and that whole thing. And I mean, it's still to this day, it's one of my favorite characters and things I've ever done. And David was just such a joy to work with because he was an artist and he welcomed input in something, you know. You don't get that much these days, you know. And most directors, I'm sorry to say, that's something I really used to really enjoy, was working, well, first of all, looking for a good script and then hoping that good script was attached to a good director. You know, a director with a vision. And I'm lately I haven't finding so many of them anymore. You know? So it's sad. But a film that I absolutely love that nobody saw, which is in my top 3 as well. My top 3 that I love that I did were Blue Velvet, Last of the Mohicans, and Ang Lee's Ride with the Devil. Ride with the Devil is a beautiful movie. It's a Civil War epic. Ang Lee's a wonderful director. And the cast in that film is incredible. And it was shot just beautifully. And it got caught up in what happens a lot, and people aren't aware of this. The film was being produced by Universal Pictures. While we were in production, the heads of Universal, they did a regime change, and the heads of the studio were fired while we were in production. So the new production team comes in, you know, the heads of the studio, and they don't want any of the films that the old regime did to be successful. So they'll do what they call dumping a movie, which means they will release the movie with almost zero advertising. Yeah. And that's what Ang Lee, The Devil fell into that. That was a beautiful movie. It came out in 1999. And check it out. It's a Criterion. If you know Criterion, you know, discs and streaming service, they put it out as well. Criterion did because it's a beautiful. Nobody got to see it. It's a shame because I mean the cast is amazing. Tobey Maguire, Skeet Ulrich, Jewel in her first film ever, and she did a good job. Jeffrey Wright,
Jeffrey Wright,
wonderful.
Wow. Yeah.
Jim Caviezel.
Wow.
On and on and on, as far as the actors in this thing are just amazing. Check it out. It's a beautiful movie. And the story and the point of that film is actually pretty poignant with what's going on in our world, this country now.
Okay.
I gotta check that out.
It's on my watch list now.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, Chris, you get the last question.
Yeah. So I'm happy you brought up one of your second movies is actually, other than the Ninja Turtles, is The Last of the Mohicans. You know, yeah, it's a fictional novel. It's not based so much on a true story, but it's a take on the French-American War.
Well,
and unfortunately,
not only is it fictional, you know, there is no such thing as a Mohican.
Yes.
Didn't like the spelling or the way it sounded, so he made up that name. It's Mohegan, and
yeah.
exist.
So, but you know, being the times and stuff like that, being of Taino descent, like anything with Native Americans, we rarely got to see movies where they're actually portraying. My question to you about that movie is, what did you love the most about helping create such a beautiful film? It was an amazing film.
Well, that is a beautiful movie. That's a beast. That was a beast to make. I joke nowadays that, especially a few years back, a friend of mine had me do a whole list of everything I've ever done, and I'd done that before, believe it or not. And then when Joe looked at it, he's like, "My God, you never did Easy." It's like it's true, Easy. But that was my second film for the director, Michael Mann. My first film with him was Manhunter, which was the original Hannibal Lecter film. It was Red Dragon. And Michael is a great filmmaker, but Michael is, he's going to ruin your day. He's going to make it as hard as he can. And it's just going to be, but I get put up with him because I know the end result is going to be a good movie and worth it. Mohicans was a beast to make. And it's a beautiful movie. Madeline Stowe put me under contract after that one because it was a tough shoot. But it's a beautiful movie. So I can put up with a lot when I know the end result's going to be worth it.
Is there like any particular scene that like you loved the most out of it, or you worked like that, like you had to go through the same way you went through with Rambo?
I mean, films are almost like children in a way, as far as you hope you want them all to be good and do well, but they don't always do that. I don't know if there was one particular scene that really, because Mohicans was a beast to make, man. It really was. Because what you're seeing, again, that's before CG, so everything you're seeing on screen we had to do. And also just the locations. I mean, so we had to do some mountain climbing and stuff to get to these places and stuff. And it sounds hopefully gotta be fun, but we're having to do that mountain climbing with our equipment.
Yeah.
That sucks.
So
yeah.
So Jeff, where can people find you online or at any events that you're doing in the near future?
I'm doing an event with you, Eric.
Yes, March 21st in Atlantic
March
City.
21st.
James Saito and I, the Shredder, will be together again.
Yep, we're going to be putting you guys on a panel together to reminisce.
It's so much fun. Got a fun story.
Did you reach out to James?
We have, yes. Yeah.
Okay, good. And then any books or anything that you've published, or
you said you didn't like pushing books.
Push a book.
You got you there.
Push a book. You got a book?
Yeah, I do have a book.
Excellent.
It's not out yet. I'm still looking for it was out and I pulled it, and I'm looking for a new publisher now, especially because now with the passing of David and the fact that this is now 2026, which makes this 40 years that Blue Velvet came out.
Mm-hmm.
It's all a book on making of Blue Velvet, but told through my take on it, but also told through all of my original Polaroids, continuity Polaroids.
Oh, wow.
From the film.
That's amazing. Wow.
Wow.
So it's
a time capsule.
It really
It is.
Book. That's a time capsule right there.
That's a time capsule.
So I got that one, and I'm actually working on now my it's called my memoir. Just
and I think you and I spoke, and you could do the special effects on my movie, right? I can't corner you.
I am retired from that life. You know what?
I'm trying really hard, guys, to get him out of retirement.
Just one more. Just one more.
Right.
For all of us, one more.
Oh man.
No, we'll let you enjoy. We'll let you enjoy your retirement. Wink, wink.
I think my days.
When you're ready. When you're ready. When you
know.
get
I'm gonna
bored
wake
with
up tomorrow and be
retirement.
like, I need to call Eric. Hold on, I got an itch I need to scratch.
No,
And then
I love doing
so-
the screenings and the cons. And I just started doing conventions and stuff like that, and that's last. I mean, getting out there, just getting you guys and get the love back from I mean, we're guys. We don't get invited to all the fancy stuff and the stuff, so we don't get to see that really. That or get that. So it's nice to get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're going to give you that too. I got you at Popped. I'll talk to you about Wicked Garden, which is our horror sci-fi film festival in Atlantic City we're going to be doing. So we'll be talking more about that. Don Manuel, where can we find you guys?
You can find us at DonManuelPresents.shop. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, Social Media Misfits Club. You can find us on Amazon Prime with the Terror Loop. And you can find us at your local convention. We'll be at Popped as well with some of our fellow Misfits. And you'll see us at conventions all across the nation this year. Thanks to Ultimate Wireless, Origins of Play, BB Banks 360. There are sponsors that have gotten us to so many cool conventions and getting us even connected with Eric by plugging us with our burlesquebuffet.com for burlesque productions as well. We do a lot of cool things, both as a group as individuals as well. So yep.
Right, and you'll be doing you'll have your burlesque buffet performance at our halfway to Halloween costume party.
Yes, we're super excited
May.
to have our first New Jersey show. So yes,
we're excited. Oh, we're your first New Jersey show.
Yes, yep. You'll be our first burlesque
I didn't
buffet
know that.
Jersey
Well,
show.
now I gotta promote the shit out of that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
And then, Chris, where are we finding you?
You will find me wherever Don is. As if you do follow us, we are like the tag team duo. We are always together, whether it's on social media, but solo, you could find me on Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, even though I say I'm not TikTok friendly because I'm too blunt. My podcast, The Poisonous Daily, which I was actually honored and humbled to hear that you've heard it and you enjoy it, because a lot of people don't like that raw, unapologetic attitude. Other than that, you could also catch me. I'm actually currently Mrs. New York Activist, and I'm getting ready for nationals next year. So if I'm not in a crown and banner doing something, I am doing a con and cosplay. I will definitely be paying homage to Jeff and James at Popped. I am so looking forward to that. Other than that, it's Comic-Con, pageants, podcast, and creating whatever type of chaos I can create.
So to your podcast, we have a podcast. We did our first, I will call it a pilot season because we were testing the waters. I think we did 10 episodes for our How, Why, What podcast. And it is right up your alley. It's brutal. It's ugly. It's focused on the business community. It's calling them out. It's telling them what pieces of shit they are when they don't do what they're supposed to do. I mean, we're ugly about it. It took us a while to get everybody to be like, okay, we'll accept the syndication on it. So it's out there. It's ugly. It's not YouTube friendly. It's not TikTok friendly. Hence the reason I'm probably still banned on TikTok because they hate me.
I'm kind of like waiting for it. Like every time we go on, like we did a Christmas special for one of our Misfits because her birthday's on Christmas, and I said something and did something, and Hot Miss Nessa got a thing that she was supposed to kick somebody out for inappropriate stuff. So I thought it was me, and I was like, oh shit, I did it again. And no, it was Don for playing Christmas music.
Wow. So Bob, where can we find you online in the universe?
You can find me on all social media platforms at the Black Bob Ross, THA Black Bob Ross. I do a lot of, I'm going to start doing a lot more instructional paintings like the OG Bob Ross soon. And hopefully someday soon you'll see me on the screen as well doing costume design.
Fantastic.
He's awesome at it.
Son of Saint, go ahead. Like, let us know where we're going to find you.
You can find me on all social medias under the Son of a Saint. I'm also one of 100 artists that is being featured in a gallery in Philly right now for a show called 100 Artists versus Gorilla. I'm also been invited to do an anniversary art book for A Nightmare on Elm Street. Um, got a bunch of character concepts for a pilot being called Chronicles. I'm sorry, it's a sci-fi western. I'm doing the concept art for those characters. It's also being turned into a comic book series, so I'll be featured on 2 of those covers. And essentially, pretty much anywhere art is needed, it's like a bat signal. Call for the saint. He
Yeah,
appears.
we're gonna have to make a saint signal. That's it.
Yeah, right. Well, I want to thank
We
you
know a guy.
guys, for your support to what I'm doing with our event brand. And we don't have an event without you guys. That's the bottom line. Guests like yourself, Jeff, and James, and folks like Steve Barton, and our other guest, Father Evil, we had on today. You guys, I'm going to say it again. I said it at the top of the show. Don Manuel and the Misfits are the epitome of collaborative economy.
Yes.
I have partners that are expecting to get paid who have not put in as much effort and work and support as these guys have, because they believe in the collaborative economy. They believe in the creative economy. And that is why they're here on this show today, is because I want to be able to take now this show, this content, and then turn it into clips and push these guys out. So I wanted to thank you guys for being here, for your commitment to the community, and for your support. You guys, viewers, anybody looking to find us, it's blackink.events. That's where you're going to find out all our events and everything we have going on this year. Stay tuned with us, follow us, like, subscribe, share. You know the drill. We got some film announcements coming up very soon in the next couple of weeks. We have next week a new event coming online, very exclusive event with April Bousset. And that feedback is killing me. I'll give it to him, though, because he's a legend. Can't stop the legend. And again, thank you guys for being here tonight. Thank you guys who tuned in. Continue to support. Now, I got to go put out some fires because I've probably upset a few people. I'm pretty sure I got some Swifty death threats.
Oh, it's not the end of the
That's
world.
okay. We got your back.
We got you. We got you. You got us.
I'm sure you'll be fine. They're armed with wiffle bats. It's okay.
Yeah, they're not even armed with wiffle bats. They're armed with like lip gloss and
Lip gloss.
and labubus.
And listen, I'm a
Yeah.
Gen Xer. I mean, you know how it goes. Fuck around and find out, baby.
Exactly.
True, true.
Thank you for having us. We truly
Thank you so much.
do.
Yeah,
And we're
Chris.
so looking forward to 2020, March 21st.
2026 in general. And just so you know, Chris, we are just had a meeting today. We're going to be getting ready. I have to have another meeting to schedule our episodes for How, Why, What. And I want you on as a guest, so to join us.
Oh, thank you. And I definitely need to have you on the Poisonous Daily. Like I literally film like either live. I like to do my interviews live, but I pre-record certain episodes, and I do it like twice a month because, like I said, my schedule is very busy. And now with our sponsors, Ultimate Wireless, BB Banks 360, and Origins of Play, we have so many things lined up. Like I would love to do it more, but I can't. And like between the pop event, we have 90s Con, then the pop event. We actually have the SutsuCon the end of the month, and then we have Go-Go Ranger Station in March as well. So it's like 3 cons back to back in a week. Like, so trust me,
absolutely.
as soon as you got those dates, let me know, and I'm all there. I even have New York Fashion Week in February.
Absolutely. So yeah, and you Ultimate Wireless, Origin Gaming, 360. They will all be BB Banks 360 booth. They will all be at several of our events.
They're fantastic community supporters. They're our sponsors as well. They're fantastic collaborators. Origin of Play, we are doing at Popped and at Halfway to Halloween. We're actually doing game tournaments. Popped is going to be a retro game tournament, and Halfway to Halloween is going to be a horror game tournament. So I'm really excited because, you know, I'm excited for the horror game. I mean, I love the Pop retro gaming, but I'm just like, what can you do with a horror game tournament?
Right.
Oh no, trust me, they're great at what they do. Like me and Don, we actually, I think Don let go a little snippet of what we did at Anime New Jersey for Origins of Play, and like it was actually our actual reaction of reacting what we did when we walked into their setup, and then seeing all the gaming stuff like that, and then like we're gonna be literally, me and Don were like, oh, we're gonna jump on this, film some content, playing a game, and we actually chose Ninja Turtle: The Revenge of Shredder. And we went in and we literally just locked in, and next you know, it's like 30 minutes later. We said we were gonna do like 5-10 minutes, like a quick 30 minutes later, that we were just like, you know what, we're just gonna go live. And we were there like just locking in. But like the selection of games that they have is beyond amazing, and they have those horror games. You're gonna get the Resident Evil and every scary game there was, because they're amazing at what they do.
Yeah, their catalog is wild.
Yeah, and before we jump, I do want
console.
to say this: Ultimate Wireless, just put it, is actually going to be one of the tech providers on one of the film productions that we're currently working on, that I will be making an announcement for. So, you know, I'm really proud to have them on board, and I'm looking forward to it. So, folks, I do appreciate you guys coming out. Jeff, thank you so much. Don, Chris, Bob, Saint, thank you so much for being here. We're going to do this again. We'll probably have you guys come on for the wrestling one, as I square that up. And
but we know Saint's going to be like in heaven with that. Like,
I'm gonna work on that. I'm not sure when we'll blow that up, but we're gonna figure that out. Got to make a few phone calls.
Yeah, no, this was a lot of fun.
You too.
Thank you so
much.
much.
We are humbled and honored, and
Oh,
we're looking forward to everything.
This ain't happening without you guys, so I'm the one that's honored. You guys have a great night.
You
Thank
too.
you. Thank you. Good night.
We're out of here.
All right. Night, everybody.
Bye, Jeff.
Bye.